Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome. It is Monday, and that means it is time for the
Is my peak entertainment right here. You're thinking of the future, like, oh, let's build the synergy, let's do all of this. No, 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 no. All I'm happy about is like, how are we gonna jazz tonight? This is like the jazz concert where everybody's in a mess, everything is tangled. Like you're gonna see comfort picks, you're gonna see absolute coin tosses everywhere. It's gonna be beautiful, and we're all gonna enjoy it, and especially the players, because this is a time where everybody can be the most creative. Like later on, people mesh and identity starts to be formed, and while all of this is more regimented and better, but this isn't as fun as this week could be.
Of course, Amazon Prime has Rings of Power, HBO Max has House of the Dragon, and here on Twitch TV, our nightly entertainment is the Victoris Draft Leagues. That's where we want to be. But speaking of those drafts, going, at the overall look at what we're coming into, again, we had the draft show a few days ago. If you want to watch the VOD, go check it out. You certainly can. But going into the future, we have our format for this tournament. We are going to be going for 5 whole weeks. Each team will be playing a triple round robin, in fact, in their group. They'll play each team in their group 3 times. There's 6 teams per group. So there are going to be 3 games every Monday night for you to watch. They will be best of one because, hey, it's a draft league. You can't have coin flip games and not just make them be the 50-50 every time. So that's what we have to look for. But that said, it's not always going to be 50-50. Not all teams are made equally, unfortunately. And so overall, I do want to ask y'all, coming into this week, coming into this league, what are the teams that we are kind of looking at to have those upper hands and have those advantages as we play throughout the series?
So, again, I did mention it, right? Kind of interesting seeing how the synergy evolves, and that is definitely going to be true as we see these teams making their way onto the Rift, and especially too in these first early weeks, if they've got it right off the bat, or if it is something that gradually comes, and by playoffs you have this absolutely monster team. But my eyes go to some of these frontrunners, some of these veterans, some of these former champions that have shown us a few times already how strong they can be. And I think a couple of captains definitely had their eyes out on those players when doing the draft. I've got my eyes over on the Hammerheads currently. Melody got himself quite a lineup. I believe Sigma is a rookie coming into the split, but Dream, Unforgiven, making the return back into the draft league as well too. Has been to finals a couple times as well, and has been an incredible player. So I'm so excited to see how they do in the jungle, especially with some patches that may favor the picks that come out. We'll have to see how that goes. Melly G's amazing. We've seen him win multiple splits at this point now. Sniper Baruka has been growing as an incredible ADC, and I love to see that as well. And ADHD Graphics has also been solid in our league. So I think we got a power team there in Group A. But I don't know, Volt. Any teams catching your eyes there across the board?
Well, I mean, I've been looking for a lot of the stuff, and like one of the teams I think is just gonna be one of my favorites to watch. Is gonna be Falcons that we're gonna have today in the second game. Like, I am in love, one, with a lot of the creative picks, two, Enchanters, three. If we're like, I'm very intrigued to see like which of the teams are gonna be the ones with the most unique picks, because that is something that is very fun to watch. And second of all, it just throws the other team off field. Like, oh, are we gonna see like a team that can like bring flex picks? Like maybe like you pick a Seraphine and you don't know if it's like mid support or AD, or AD, quote unquote. So yeah, so like these stuff are gonna be like very fun to watch, and that is why I really like Falcons, because I think that especially with a lot of their players, like somebody like Eyesight, I think he's like role swapped from jungle. So you can see a lot of the supports that are very heavy on roaming. Maybe you can even see a few unorthodox supports, and that as well is gonna be like very big on the side of like how creative can you be and how much of an outlet do you have to like unleashing your champion pool and your creativity in a way that doesn't harm the team.
Right. And that's, I mean, that's kind of one of the big things about draft leagues is you're not always going to get drafted into the ideal situation. You know, you're not brought in from an outside source, hand picked, cherry picked from another team to fill in a role. It's like, okay, well, we might get a few people that we really want, but we got to round it out somehow. And so it's going to be, you know, we're going to see some mid laners going in the top lane. We're going to see some junglers in support. Most of the AD carries stay in the AD carry because, like, if you play ADC, you know, you don't do much else. No offense, but I'm just
unless
saying.
they go Vayne top, that's
Unless
very
they,
possible.
hey, you know,
Hey.
Vayne, that could happen.
You joke, but
It could be a thing. It could be a thing,
No.
you know. But that
Fall
being-
split 2020. Just saying, Game 5, Vayne top came out and won the game. Just saying.
Fair.
But
Hey.
I digress. Back to you, Thunder.
But yeah, I mean, that's half the fun of draft league is you will see people maybe in their off role bring in the picks from, again, mid laner Victor top. Who knows? We've seen it a couple times. We've seen Azir top. Like, apparently that's like kind of meta these days. So who knows? Those are certainly going to be exciting. But in terms of the groups themselves, I know, Gerf, you were definitely excited about overall this season. It definitely feels like these groups, well, it's a draft show. There's a draw show. There's like 3 different levels of possible randomization, and we don't really interfere with any of it. But this time, it feels like the dice have fallen in a little bit more of a way where teams are pretty even out in terms of strength between the 2 groups.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, last split there was a lot of chatter about, being there a draw show for which groups are these teams are going to be before even knowing where the draft teams are going to even look like. Does definitely throw some randomization in there in terms of what is this league going to be looking like when we're actually boots on the ground and running. But I think right now, honestly, looking at this, we've got a balance of players across the teams. We've got a balance of strong teams in either group. I think it's going to make for a nice, balanced out split for this fall. It should be interesting though, because last split we had some cases where one group was a little bit stronger, and it was like, those strong teams that should have been making it into playoffs, not quite making it because you had 4 other amazing teams right up above the cusp. I think in this case, we're going to have the strong runs really show us who deserves to be in those top 4 spots. And we even got a little something from a member of our draft community too, from the jungler of Falcons. Night Train has been so kind to send us in their power rankings for this split. And taking a peek at what they've got here. Crusaders at the very top. It's been a while since we've seen the Crusaders in the draft league. Last time it was led in winter of 2021 by Captain Mako and got them to playoffs, almost made it past quarterfinals. It was so heartbreaking to watch them just barely miss out in game 5 when it was all at the cusp. But yeah, Crusaders right there at the top. Lindblom, Becky Rita, Darwin, Theory, Wolven, Alchemist, and OG Sauce Baus. That's got a lot of strong players. Lindblom, Becky, Darwin, and Wolven have all been in this league for multiple splits, especially so for Darwin and Wolven. They are longtime veterans at this point, so I really like what they put there. Hammerheads, I've already said my piece tonight. Dragons, again, we're looking at some big veterans like Ishan, Hoodieman X, Melee Vayne, who has shown time and time again that they can be consistent, strong players. And then from there, I think, a little bit of pick and choose, a little bit of personal choice there. I wonder if it is going to round out like what Night Train has put up for us here. But what do you guys think of the rest of the list?
Well, I do actually want to ask Volt this. Again, today, one of the matchups, it'll be our second matchup. Our first is the Lions versus the Sharks, which if you're looking at this power ranking, I think there's a way that most people are expecting this to go. But our second matchup is Falcons versus Dragons. Volt, I do kind of want to ask you. You see Dragons up in that 3rd slot on the overall power rankings. Do you feel like Falcons are maybe underrated? Do you feel like maybe Dragons are a little overrated? Do you think, hey, maybe just Falcons will get the better of them? How are you feeling about their placements on this power ranking preseason?
Do you remember who made that power ranking? It's Night Train.
Is he too humble? Is he too humble?
That is gonna be the question. Are you just baiting everyone on the top five? It's like, yeah, we're just the top 60. We're gonna make it to playoffs, and then like you absolutely smash everyone. Or are you gonna be like that kind of? I think the fact that they put themselves in sticks is that they believe that they have too many variables, which I can understand because like you have a jungle player playing support, you have a few, I would say, stable players. But then you have no standouts, and like it's a little bit of a weird dynamic. So I would give Dragons a little bit of an edge, but the thing is, the Falcons have so much more untapped potential than what the Dragons have, from my perspective so far.
Understandable. Well, taking a look more at the other matches today, primarily the one that we are going to be diving into soon, and y'all wonderful folks, you two, Gurf and Volt, will be casting first, is going to be the Lions versus the Sharks. Now, again, some people, and by I say some people, Night Train specifically, thinks that the Sharks are just going to get absolutely stomped on. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but that said, we are looking at a pretty interesting lineup where Sharks, their overall average elo isn't as high as necessarily Mr. Cheese Key in the jungle for the Lions. So how are we feeling about this matchup specifically? And do we think maybe, if Sharks prepped enough, the power of friendship, the power of teamwork can overcome the power of just a really based jungler? How are you feeling, Vol? Yeah, you voted for the Sharks. You voted for the Sharks. Give us what your vote of confidence in them is.
So you want me to sell you on the copium? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Sell us and sell Twitch chat and sell Night Train, because you have to.
Okay, let's go. So you have an Enchanter support. Enchanters are so good right now, especially after the durability patch. A lot of the supports that were the staples, where you'd have the Leona, much worse right now. The Nautilus, you need a lot more to like get the pick that these kind of champions provided you. So you can have Lulu, you can have the Janna, that is like the best disengaged support. I think people are really sleeping on Janna. She's super good right now. And then, well, you have the rest of the team. Like when I think about it from the side of the Sharks, you have Freya, and I think like Freya used to play mid, but a lot of the stuff that you can play mid can be flexed to top, and that is pretty good. And then you have also Shyvana. They go to top Sejuani, which I'm not really the biggest fan of myself, but it can pull off some really, I'd say, spicy laning phases, especially with a TP Ignite. So you have the kill potential there. So like, yeah, that's what I think. I think like you have a very stable mid. You have somebody who will have, like, I would say maybe Tweethope will have a little bit of a tough time in the jungle. But then again, like you play stuff like Diana and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go Sunfire. I'm gonna be A-okay. So you have a lot of safety nets for Shark, and then you have the Enchanter, which I think just of the fact of picking an Enchanter in itself can be enough in week one. In week one. Not in the long term, but in week one at least.
That is true. I mean, enchanters have been pretty powerful over the recent patches. I don't think I've seen a single buff to any enchanter for like the past 3 or 4 patches, unless I'm just completely out of there. Like Nami got nerfed, I think 3 times in a row already now with the electrocute changes. So that's just a feels bad, man. I know we got some Nami lovers here, myself included. But that being said, for the Lions, I think you are feeling pretty all right. Again, honestly, I think looking at them, they're probably a little bit better than their overall, our kind of preseason analysis of them might be. But Gurf, how are we feeling about the Lions coming into today?
I'll be brief with this as well too. It's a lot of veterans we got coming back. Cheesekey back in the jungle. On the Lions again, it's full circle. It's the circle of life. I hope we don't get trademarked for that. But one back in fall 2020 on the Lions, an incredible jungler. Definitely favored the Volley Bear, but I think over the 2 years of me kind of making that the running joke, I'm like, he's gonna pick Volley, even though you might hear it tonight. Definitely has expanded the pool and made himself a much stronger jungler. But it's just the play style of being aggressive, making the roams, and getting his lane snowballing. Knowing that you're going to have the mid laner Starling, who I believe used to play ADC, moving up into the mid lane, taking that aggressiveness onto, I would say, a much more variety of champs that can be kind of applied there. Sheep down in the bot lane, who has played in our league a couple times, but I'm looking forward to seeing them make their mark here tonight. And I believe it was Electric and Scorpio, newcomers as well too. But again, it goes back to the captain, back to Cheesekey, which is going to be the facilitator, I think, of this team. And that's going to be really tough to deal with when we're looking at the other side for the Sharks. And at Ultra, as much as I love and respect his Nami and Enchanters and love playing them myself, I think that might be a little bit tough to keep up with when you have a jungler running laps around the map.
Right. Well, it looks like we got support v jungle. We'll see who comes out on top. But I will go ahead and send you Wonderful Boys into the Rift for our first game of the night between the Sharks, led by Starclaw, the ADC, their captain, and the Lions, led by Cheesekey, their jungle. Take it away, boys. Have a blast.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Thunder. Volt, are you ready? It's the first draft of the draft. Draft squared. I'm just gonna keep saying it all night, but I'm very excited to see what these picks are gonna be, what kind of comps, because we can talk and talk and talk, but we don't get to be right until we actually start to see the data coming in. So I'm very excited for this. We're getting the ready checks up here. Volt, what kind of picks do you want to see tonight? What kind of anything spicy in your head that you want to see?
Well, let's see. Well, we've seen most of the playoffs around the globe so far. Like LPL is done, LCK is done. We're mainly waiting for LCS and I think LEC. So I'm really intrigued. Like, are we gonna see like some of these stuff, or are we just gonna see comfort stuff? Because like the thing is, a lot of the stuff that is being played right now are very simple. We have the MF. It's very easy to make an MF death ball.
Absolutely.
It's very fun as well. It's like, yeah, let's play stuff that makes us feel like we're having a transformative impact. Where, okay, I landed the hook, or we found an angle. So that is one side of it.
Yeah, there's and it really is dependent. I honestly, from seeing so many first weeks and even playing in this league myself too, it's either we're either going to see comfort, we're going to see them go for, okay, what is easy execution, what synergizes well, what can we pull off as a team, who again we mentioned on the desk, who have been playing essentially as a team for about 48 hours at this point, or do we just say screw it, we're going to pick some crazy stuff here tonight, we're just going to go absolutely nuts on the Rift tonight and just bring out some whack stuff. I've seen Zeri tops, I've seen Ornn mids. It gets wild here in draft.
Well, it can get wild, but so far, you are spot on. We're seeing a lot of comfort stuff being taken away, whether it be the Hecarim, the Nocturne, Kayn, Senna, like all these are absolute comfort picks for Treetop. You're talking as well for Cheesy. Like everything is just being very targeted, very specific. I don't think anybody's gonna go that out of the norm, especially with, I think they only had 2 days of practice for the first game. So that's gonna be very interesting. And there we see Wukong, as we were talking, like meta, very easy to achieve, and could be as well like in the reach of the champion pool of Freya.
Yeah, and this has been honestly since I want to say patch 12.10. We're 12.15, 12.16 at this point? Question mark.
12.16.
12.16. Okay, so yeah, there was a patch. I got lost in the work this week. What even is League? But it slots in so nice. You can flex a top, you can flex a jungle, and honestly, it can really make a difference in terms of these team fights. You can do some sneaky plays with it, but not really when the answer from the Lions is going to be that Rek'Sai. So most likely going to be ending up in the hands of Cheesekey here. But you can't go for those flanks when you have a Rek'Sai who can just look where you're walking when you're invisible there.
Yep, absolutely. Just typical wall hacks. It's okay. On a passive off a W, right?
Yeah.
You just get wall hacks. And as we were saying, here comes the MF and R2.
Called it.
Yeah, the death ball is gonna come in. Cheesekey is just on his specialty. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just chill, have a good day. I'm gonna gank everyone. I'm gonna make everybody's day is miserable. And from here, we're gonna see Starclaw being on the Shin. So that can be like something, okay, yeah, maybe I can play a little bit further away from the death ball. And then like I can help you with the death flourish, or I can help you with what's the ultimate called?
Curtain call.
Curtain call. Yeah, not last call.
Yeah.
Curtain call. Yeah. So look, you have these things that are gonna be the hand lenders. to like playing a
Ooh.
very long range comp, and they're doubling down on that with the Ash.
Not
Ooh.
gonna say it's not effective because it will definitely be quite a nuisance down in the bot lane, but it is also quite a nuisance to deal with in the bot lane. So
Mhm.
yeah, from the side of the Lions, you're probably seeing this and saying, okay, we got to look for setup. We got to make sure we lock these two down and cannot let them kite us down. Because if the Jin and Ash just running away and poking, all that CC and all that damage, it's gonna get nasty. But I think this is the answer right here: is the setup, the alley oop, if you want to call it that, for what is going to be this misfortune. Rek'Sai to potentially sneak around back, interrupt the curtain call, and a Mumu. If there is any clumpage happening here on the Sharks and that misfortune and Mumu have level 6, it's going to get scary. Volt, you mentioned, with the world's meta starting to kind of rear its face, or finals, playoffs, all that as well, too. A lot of Mumu support's been coming out. I don't know if that is going to make its way to the bot lane since we have that Rek'Sai there already.
Yeah, and now the one thing that I'm very intrigued about, you do know the interaction between Lily and MF, right? Like the little thing lullaby. It does you don't wake up if you're getting hit by a bullet time. So maybe I was thinking, okay, maybe you can see a Lily atop, but nah, like or man, like it's in the
So
name.
good.
It's gonna be an Orn. Still, a man can dream. A man can still dream.
Mhm.
But yeah, like
Absolutely.
mhm. So the question here is gonna be on the side of Sharks. How are you
Mm.
gonna continue the draft? Are you gonna just like say, okay, they're going very hard engage. Let's just go with stuff that can peel, that can disengage, that can play back, and then maybe you can go with an Azir, a Kale, that can be an option. Pretty okay
Wow.
into Ornn, and like you have that late game insurance, which basically you're saying, okay, you can have the early game. We will let you have the picks. You can even like have a roaming support, but you're on a clock.
That is, remember, comfort
Yep.
are absolutely going ham out here. That right there, you bring out a Kale of Victor as well too. Those are two massive, massive picks here for the Sharks, but it does require you to pile them quite precisely. Those are late game champs. Kale, especially so out of the two that we just saw picked here, B4 and B5. You got to get to level 16. She is going to start to
Ooh.
ramp up once she becomes ranged. But yeah, it is the goal to get to late game, to that 28, 29, 30-minute mark with the Kale. But this early game damage, these early game equalizers could potentially rock the boat a little bit. And altogether, I'm looking at what the Lions have put together as a team comp right now. Wombo, combo, supreme, equalizer sprinkled on top. It's going to be a lot to deal with.
Just
Bolt.
a good old chef kiss, on the top here for Starling. It's like, well, have a great day, lads and ladies. Here comes the equalizer. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a very dangerous proposition if you're the Sharks. If you're approaching the fights, which I think this is the positions that the Lion want to put themselves in. It's like, okay, we get the control early, and then imagine trying to walk in as
No.
like Ash or Kale or Victor into that. No, thank
Yeah.
you. No, like so it is gonna be that case, and I think to be honest, I'd also give a little bit more of an edge to the Lions just because they have more of a cohesive identity where everyone is in on the death ball. Meanwhile, you have the Wukong that is not really on theme with the rest of the draft. While I think it's pretty good in jungle,
Yeah.
I think
You're-
like he's in a good position to like make a menace earlier on, but once the team fight starts rearing its head in, suddenly you're stranded where everybody's just like 6 feet backwards, and you're like, "Oh,
Team,
yeah,
where are you?
where
Right?
I'm going."
That's honestly, I was looking at you, Volt, kind of funny. I was like, you're in my head right now. You're reading my thoughts because that's exactly right. You got long range, poke, kite back, which is totally available, especially once the Kale is range as well too. Where does the Wukong slot into these fights? Is he going to be able to help kite back? Is he going to be able to disrupt any of these members efficiently enough for them to not get on top of this squishier members, especially in these early levels? That Kale cannot fall behind. A little bit easier for someone like that compared to, like, say, a Riven to come back from a snowball once they hit that level 16, but it's going to make it so much difficult if we do see those rotations, and especially keeping my eye on Cheesekey once we actually see where these laners are going, where these champs are going. Cheesekey on the Rex side now confirmed. that's going to be roaming. They're going to be floating around the map. They're going to be looking to get their team ahead. And I would expect nothing less of them to be in a lane within the first 5 minutes of this game to ensure that happens. Knowing there's a Kale up there, knowing you got a late scaling champion, that kind of puts a target on your back. And I hope the Sharks are aware of this. Maybe that's the answer there, where Tree is cognizant of, hey, Cheeseke's going to be up in that top lane. Maybe I can get there for a counter gank. You turn things around. You get a kill, an early kill. That can mean a huge difference. That's like an extra 5 minutes shaved off that timer to when that kill becomes an absolute beast.
Yeah, same thing for the Victor. If we suddenly give him an influx of 25 stacks of his evolution, it's like, well, here I have my E like 2 waves sooner, or 3 waves sooner even.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're like, yeah, well, now I can wave clear and I don't have to worry about it. So that option is there. But the problem is, you also have the option of like Shape just like taking the Amumu somewhere, and then like you're gonna have a very dangerous situation where you're gonna have a Mumu Rek'Sai early on. And that is a lot of lockdown layered up, and especially adding on that, people underestimate how much burst damage the Rumble does early on. I'm wondering, like, will he take Electrocute or Dark Harvest though? Because like, if you take Electrocute, you go Electrocute Ignite, like you have a ton of potential of like level 2, level 3 Cheese First Bloods.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if that's their goal for the Lions, is to make sure to get the snowball running nice and early, then play true to your comp. You've drafted yourself. I would think Lions have got themselves the better draft overall to achieve, like you said, their goal here. But we do have that confirmation of the Amumu support, and I did want to actually bring up a little bit more on that as well too. I'm gonna be watching out if Scorpio is taking something like Cleanse. Yes, they're gonna be strong in the bot lane. Yes, Amumu's gonna lane well into a Jhin and Ashe once they get a little bit of tankiness. Obviously, that early game poke is gonna be very, very frustrating to deal with, but it allows the Amumu to be there in lane, be present, allow Cheesekey to come down and gank. Or option B, you take the Cleanse, know your Amumu is roaming, be prepared for that crystalline arrow coming out of the Ashe, and save your Cleanse for that, so you can at least escape, at least sit under your tower safe and farm while the Amumu is doing his thing around the map alongside Cheesekey. That's a nasty gank. If you can get the Rek'Sai and Amumu out together, ooh, it's going to be scary setting up for these dragons, especially so.
Yeah, I'll be very intrigued to see like what do they elect to do, but I'll also be very intrigued, especially if like we're gonna talk about summoners and whatnot, the keystones that we're gonna see. Like, what are we gonna see off Cheesekey? Is he gonna elect for something that is a bit more bursty, maybe a press the attack, or will we see the usual Conqueror? Because like you look at the targets, almost everyone is within the Rek'Sai one-shot combo, like range, which is very dangerous. Like the only saving grace you have is either gonna be a Cyclone interrupting the Rek'Sai, or a kill ult that is gonna be like, well, okay, take a break, you're not killing me now. So like that is gonna put Cheesekey in a very good position to just be very dangerous. And then you're putting a lot of onus on the members of Shark to like have good vision, arrive at the objectives first, and that's gonna be pretty hard. Like Victor earlier on doesn't have the best of wave clears. Same thing with Kale. You're gonna lose Prio most of the time, and then you're gonna have the Ornn with the TP advantage there. Same thing with the bot lane. Yes, you might have the poke, but the fact that like you're gonna have the MF that is very notorious for having a very good like wave clear on Prio. Yeah, and that number.
That's all I gotta do is hold up number 6.
Yeah, that number. Like you look at the level 6 and the first dragon potential. You have Bullet Time, Curse of the Sad Mummy, Equalizer, Call of the Force God. That is pretty much like outside of maybe saying maybe have like Orange Jungle and having Malphite top to have an unstoppable force. That is the best thing that you can ask for like a Death Bowl Wombo combo. That is inescapable. If that sequence is initiated, you are not gonna go out there.
It's Wombo Combo City, and I'm so excited to see if Sharks can pull it off. They got a viable late game comp for sure, but it is up to the Lions here. They're going to be in the captain's chair, I think, for the good part of this early game. So I'm so excited to see where this one goes. Predictions are open, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the Twitch sphere. So make sure to get your votes in for who you think is going to win game number 1 here today for VAD Week 1. We're going to take a quick break while we get set up for this first one of the night. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with Sharks versus Lions.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 1 of the VAD Fall 2022 split. I always do these intros, a ton of numbers, but we're getting used to it. We're getting back in the motion, the swing of things. My name is Gurf. I'm going to be your play-by-play tonight, and I'm joined by the lovely Volt, and we might already have some spiciness starting out in this early game, but I think maybe just some early wards. Play it safe. It's Game 1. You don't want to be the first one to make the first goof of the split, you know, Volt?
Minions have spawned.
Gonna be some fun. There they go. Yeah, Sheep goes in with the bandage toss. Stark Law is getting low. Scorpio backing on off. We see the Ignites were exchange. Ultra still poking on out. And a lot of summoners and potions and resources used for these early level trades. And this is going to be maybe a little bit more rougher for the side of the Lions, considering how low Sheep is right now. But more poke traded on back. We'll see, since Cheesecake is starting on the top side, as well as 3-B, if there's going to be pathing towards that bot side to take advantage of these low health bars.
Let me give you a hug.
Sheep needs to back on off, does not have that stopwatch available yet, so back to base they go, and for now Scorpio might have to play slightly carefully, though that wave is really frozen in an ideal place. If you are Starclaw and Ultra, all they need to do is sit back, pick up that first cannon. You see Cheesecake potentially making their way towards that mid lane, warding out to make sure they cannot spot him, but let's see if they're going to decide to go for it. Volt, I do think top is going to be a little quiet up until we see some junglers making their way there, especially. We got Ornn, we got Kale, they need levels, they need gold, so for now, we'll see if they go for anything, Ham. But we do have Sheep coming right back down to this lane. I'm curious, though, to see if we can see good utilization of this Glacial Augment. Again, it's just so easy to pull off with the bandage toss and get things slowed down. So hopefully saving that for the gank that potentially is coming through from Cheesecake, since he is on his blue currently.
Turbo shot.
Oh, or not, or not. We see the double bandage toss coming on out. Cheesecake here, the flash on in, and it's first blood for the Lions captain. They set it up, they set out and put their sights on that bot lane, and really well done to make use of those absent summoner spells. That's a great start if you're on the Lions. Absolutely, yeah. But I think the goal here is going to be to secure this early dragon. We are going to take a little peek back at this setup, because you saw beautiful pathing from the top side, and then right to this wonderful, wonderful gank. And the aggressive use of the flash bolt was really nice here. Yeah, they gave him 2. Why did they give him 2 volts? take a look at top lane, though. Freya's in some trouble once again. Armand, the sub on the Lions, doing quite well to harass that kill. You already see a CS differential of about 11 right now. Again, doesn't seem like a lot right now. We're just under 6 minutes into this game. But in the long run of things, Kale needs to be keeping ahead of the curve right now. Cannot let that Ornn take over the lane. And especially so, knowing that Ornn is going to hit that level 14, the team becomes even stronger. So even when you do get to that late game, what is going to be the answer if you have these members of the Lions fed with the ornaments? Let's see again, though, in the bot lane, trying to stun up that Amumu, but the exhaust comes on down. Flash will be the answer. Ultra poking on back. Sheep is dodging in and out of these bushes. Will the minions give him the vision he needs to actually get the poke down? Ultra stepping on a trap, flashing away from the deadly flourish. Sheep backing on off. Starclaw so low, and Sheep takes a flash. Don't know if that was needed. But again, playing it safe. Maybe just a little early game jitters here, Volk.
A little bit of jitters, but so far, like, Lions are pushing their advantage to the max. Summoners were retained as we were talking. Like in the first blood, both Starfall and also maintained their flashes, and that enabled them to escape this time around. So at least we have that, but so far you're seeing a much more proactive Lions. That is what they need to do. You need to find the proactive plays here. You need to have Cheesky like give you early leads. And what's been happening, and I'm very excited to see more of this because so far, that timing, the clock is very close. Like you're seeing level 5 on Scorpio, 4 on Sheep, 5 on Cheesky. The solo lanes are already on level 6 plus. So that's a very good time, as we're gonna see even Cheesky is moving around that dragon, and that is where you want to be. You already have the Plio in mid. Ornn is doing really well here on Orman, so that situation is gonna be very scary. We're gonna see Cheesky just sitting here on the sonar, on the Oracle, just waiting for something to happen, waiting for an itch to move.
Going for it over the wall. Equalizer comes on down. Cheeto will flash away. Cage trying to catch the last kill at the right side there, but Cheesky will be able to escape. Up in the top lane, though, Armand is tossed Freya into the wall. That will be the Divine Judgment coming out, but the horn will be flashed away just in time. Freya staying alive again in the bot lane. It's the bullet time. Scorpio picking up a kill there, followed up on that bandit toss. Oh my. And that's what happens when they know the flash is down. They pull the trigger. Mini wombo combo before the big one. We are soon to see Volt is already coming through, and we're not even 10 minutes in this game.
Yeah, like just on time. Aggression throughout the board here from the Lions. You're seeing they're trying to do something on mid. Orman is just trying to find anything on Freya, not giving him an easy time, as you're gonna see like 20 CFD so far for the Ornn. And we're talking about it. Here comes the mid support.
Yeah. It's all going to the script, Vault. It's all going to plan here. Honestly, after this though, we got to be thinking long term here. Or at least Lions got to be thinking long term is objectives, and definitely an early Hex Drake. Not gonna hurt too bad. Let's see if there's gonna be any contest here. Ultra maybe cut out here on the Tribush, as in comes Cheesky flashing away from the Void Rush. Scorpio is gonna turn their attention to Starclaw. Just forces the spot lane wave, and I think going to be returning back to this dragon. It is the first dragon of the game, so should be able to at least be taken solo. But you mentioned it too, Volt. We're already seeing the hint of Sheep and Cheesky roaming around in that deadly CC for days duo. We're going to see if they can pull it off in the mid lane, but I think after that, Cheeto's going to be a little bit more cognizant, hopefully, of what's lurking in the river there.
Well, I don't know, not about lurking in the river. There is a rumble lurking in the mid lane. The fate is gonna be there, but the Dragons is also gonna be here for the slaughter for the Lions. The Lions just going out on a hunt that is never ending. You can see just they're thirsty for blood here. Absolutely thirsty.
Oh, VAD. I love you so much, VAD. Back and forth. Equalizer came down from Starling, took out Cheeto, but then one turret shot said, no, Starling, you can't get away with that. Mid laners trade each other out. First dragon is going to be picked up here by the Lions. We are going to see an Inferno coming down the line, which means the two best dragons, unfortunately, will not be one of our souls. However, We did see that Treat to Be was able to pick up the Rift Herald. Let's see where they're actually going to be able to put it, as there is another gank possibly being attempted here. Cheeseke's feeling pretty hungry, looking for more. Herald comes out though in the top lane. Not going to be too hard here for Armand to just simply hit the eye. And that Herald should at least get a charge off. Little bit of extra plate gold, but that's all the Sharks are going to get.
And that's all she wrote here for the side of the Sharks. Not really finding their footing so far, maybe outside of Cheetos, but as we were saying with that, Cheesky is just gonna come in with the ultimate. Cheetos is found, and well, one hit and a little bit of a flamethrower, and that is a kill for Starling.
Gorgeous, gorgeous plays. A Void Rush comes through, and again, the facilitator, we mentioned him being the one here, but Sheep also in the bot lane with the curse. That money followed up by the bullet time. See you later, Ultro. Scorpio picks up their second kill of the game. They're going to be backing, if they so choose, with 800 gold in their pocket. And again, another bandage shot. That's going to be another turret shot, though, for the curtain call. Follow up, Scorpio. All you need to do is stand still. You can take the 4th shot. You're going to be fine. We see even more action up in the top lane as this blue side is completely taken over. Believe that Cheesecake was simply able to walk in, scoop up that blue buff, stealing it away from Tree to Be. And this is becoming a little bit worrisome if I'm a member on the Sharks right now, Volt.
Well, I mean, what can you do? Like, you're sitting here in the situation where you have 2 long-range folk champions involved, and Mumu is just finding friends left and right. Like, look at him, like the little cute mummies. Like, everybody want to just give him a hug with the bandage, and well, that's what happens, you know? Like, he tells you, hey, come here, stay, let's have a sleepover. I don't know. I mean, lady comes with a gun on the sleepover.
Speaking of Ormond, just finally did pick up that solo kill on the top lane. Tree to Be is up here, maybe to scoop up this wave, but look how much damage. That is a 3-level advantage that Ormond has over Tree to Be, and just lost half their health on the Wukong from a W and an auto. That's insane. This Ornn's already massive out here. So again, the question is going to be, what can the Sharks do at this point? It is still early. There are still possibilities. There are still ways to turn this around. But what is it going to take from them to kind of level this out and find their footing back in this game before it gets completely too snowballed? Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I take it back. Sheep and Cheesky waiting. The double trouble duo here. Deadly Flourish will do nothing because Cheesky picking up their second kill. They took over the blue side. They're taking over the red. All Tree can do is sit there and watch, and they know the Wukong's in the bush. They can see it with the Tremor Sense, trying to get the red buff, but is it going to be worth it? Jeez, just barely snakes it away. That's going to be the Curse of the Sad Mummy. The Equalizer coming down. Starling roaming from the mid lane. Void Rush to finish up the Wukong. And that arrow going right wide. Double kill for Cheesky.
Non-stop action. What is going on? As you were saying though, like Cheesky and Sheep are just like in form right now, in tandem. Picks left and right, sure. Sheep took the fall for what happened, but like you're talking, what is it, like a 5k gold lead, a 6k gold lead in 14 minutes, and a dragon. As soon as the plates are falling, we're seeing objective bounties. Like, that's how dominant the showing of the Lions have been so far. And you know, you're speaking a lot about like the Ornn. I think the Ornn is on like 9 CS a minute, and that is absolutely insane. Especially like you're talking about the level 10 KO, hitting from range. And speaking of which, the pillar is here, and that's 2/3 of the HP bar with just a single comp.
Oh my god, yeah, this Ornn is going to be terrifying, already terrifying, and not leaving any room for Freya to walk up and farm here. But again, we see the double trouble coming back once again, and just the patience that is paying off. It's unreal. It just evolved into them just saying, you know what, this is our jungle, Volt, this is ours, not yours, no.
Yeah, kings of the jungle, indeed.
True. Oh my goodness.
You know, we're seeing the team fight here transpiring. Like, the equalizer from downtown here from Starling was more than enough. Like, the Void Rush was there, picking up the Scramblers, leaving no one alive. Speaking of leaving no one alive, the Ornn seems to be on one as well. The call on the fourth shot is there. The ultimate is there from the tail, but Ornn is so tanky.
My goodness. Yeah, that's going to be another kill picked up by TE Ormond filling in here. Dragon was scooped up as well here for the Lions as they completely shoved off Tree, had to escape out the backside of the pit. And Scorpio almost picked up yet another kill with that bullet time. Here they go in the mid lane. Bandage shots will go wide, caught up in the cage just for a little bit. The Sheep is actually going to go back in. Mid lane is posting. And wait. I got to cool down a bit here. I got to get my abilities back. Just give me a second and we'll go back again. But this is it. They've got the tempo. They've got the momentum. And Lions right now are rolling with it. They've got themselves that lead that they so wanted. And you can see with this low tower, Ultra, you gotta be backing off. You gotta know they're coming. They see him on the ward, and now with the tower down, there's nowhere Ultra can go but back to base with the gray screen. Curse of the Sad Mummy is used for reasons, but she will wait clear, lock it down, secure it for the Misfortune. Top tier 1 is also going to be going down as Ormond looks for more here. Treat to be is up here. It's going to turn into a 2v1. That's going to be the Cyclone coming through, but it's not doing any damage to him. Both the Smite used as well. They're trying their best. Ornn is getting low. Will it pay off? The Conqueror stacks come through for Wukong. But Tree does not have the damage. They do in the mid lane as they get another kill on the Cheeto. Starling claims that one. And look at Cheese. He's got 20 HP. The Curtain Goal is here, but he's shooting into the dark. He finds him for the shutdown. A 5-kill Rek'Sai. That gold going into the pocket of Starclaw is going to be huge.
A third, ladies and gentlemen, the Shark are rewarded. Finally, swimming all around. And here we come, and we were talking about the top side. Well, the Divine Thunder apparently is super effective into the Ornn. We're seeing like it was doing really well into the kill. Speaking of going really well, the bullet time is gonna be there. Flash for flash, summoner for summoner. And that is gonna be Starclaw just conceding any dominance of any lane. Looking at the game state, Lions have just taken complete control, and the only thing I'm scared of is them pushing it a little too far. So far though, it's been pretty good, but we're starting to see signs of this. We're starting to see people like Scorpio just going super ham. As we're talking about the top side, you can see like the kill is doing no damage. The only damage that is being taken to the Ornn is to be like that like Divine Proc is really the only thing that is bringing the health of the Ornn down. And the Void Rush was enough. We're saying, oh, the monkey doesn't have enough damage, but the Void Beast will do. Oh, dancing, you see like a dance, a little bit dance. Let's see, like, can we get it? Can we get it? And the fourth drop was enough. Speaking of stuff that are enough, well, no more heralds for the Sharks here. The second one is gonna be claimed by the Lions.
Yeah, that's another big objective there. Still though, that's a highlight reel moment. I'll give that to the Sharks. A beautiful little shot there from Starclaw to say, hey, probably feeling good about that one. However, looking at the overall state of this game, looking at the macro, what's happening, that is every single tier 1 tower gone from the side of the Sharks right now. We might even see a fight. Potentially explode out here as down goes the arrow. Every single ult is going to be used. Here's the knockup coming through from the Cyclone. TP in comes Freya. Has that Divine Judgment which they put down onto Starclaw. Is it going to be enough? Yes, they're able to take him out. But here comes the Curtain Call. Deep is low. Starling gonna play interference for now. Absolute insanity around this dragon pit. They see each other. They go. Sheep sees and Bandage tosses. Has no mana to follow up. That bullet time is gonna be stopped by the cage. Not coming through. Chaos Storm takes out Misfortune. A shutdown going on over to Cheeto. But they lose Starclaw as well too. It's a bloodbath in the river.
Yeah, absolute monstrosity here, despite everybody just taking on to their lives. And you gotta give it to the Sharks though, like, that was much more of fighting spirit than we've been seeing in the first 15 minutes. They're starting to claw back. Sure, the lead is pretty big, it's almost approaching a 10k gold lead, but like, look at this, like, this was such a good fight here. Sure, like, Starling managed to find the first, but we're seeing like the angle here. Chisky just didn't have enough damage to kill Starclaw. Freya managed to waste enough time. The Curtain Call just didn't find enough. As you're seeing, he's just like scouring random shots, trying to find anything, seeing any pocket of vision. And then that re-engage, just like once again we're saying like, oh, maybe they're taking off a bit too much. The Chaos Storm just returned in time. That was the absolute last pick of the Storm, and it managed to claim the shutdown here on the Scorpio. absolutely massive for the Victor. We're seeing he's almost done with his shadow play in addition to the Leon replay.
Well, there is quite a significant lead right now for Lions. Up 8k, up 12 kills, and a ton of towers under the belt as well too. Is there a window here where they can possibly go again? Knockup's going to be coming through. Deadly Flurry is not secure as in goes the Cyclone. But the Sharks are not there to follow up, and this is exactly what we discussed in the draft. Wukong's going in, looking back, saying, team, where you at? In goes Cheesecake and says, team, you're right here. Let's get it going. The equalizer again, melting these members of the Sharks. They lose 3. Sheep will go down as well too, but the big bad purple worm is on the board right now. And here go the Lions to pick up the first Baron of our fall 2022 BAD split.
Yep, the Lions are here and they are not coming to play. They're just coming in, claiming their land, marking their territory, even taking the apex predator off the wrist. Not happening. We are the ones. But hey, the current ball is coming in. We're seeing the Sharks trying to find a little bit here.
4v2 with some really squishies right at the front there. They do a lot of damage, but surprisingly enough, it is going to be the Lions pulling off of that Baron. They don't want to risk it. They see everyone on the Sharks back up and saying, hey, we know we don't have to burger flip the Baron here. We're just going to take it slow. We're going to take it easy, do our thing here. But again, we see the attempt coming through for the Sharks to try and go for this Dragon. And this is exactly what we discussed about. Where's the follow-up going to be coming from the Wukong?
Okay, I just have to point out something here. I'm so pleased with the performance of Ormat on the Ornn. You can see, like, in the Dragon Pit in the replay a few seconds ago, he knocked up the Wukong as soon as he crossed over the wall. You don't even see that from, like, people that are, like, Diamond Master and casually play Ornn. Like, you're seeing proficiency here, you're seeing excellence on the Ornn. I'm very pleased with that, like, kind of display in the top side. Of course, it's marked by him being like 302, I think 2 levels ahead of the KO, almost 3. So, you know, like, there is value that is shown. But, like, so far from the Lions, I really like what I'm seeing. It's a very scary display. If they have the potential to even raise that ceiling further on, I'm even like thinking high ending or high ceiling in the playoff contender.
Yeah, this is honestly day 1. Game 1, we're seeing some incredible synergy coming out right now, and you know, we could partially attribute that to the draft that they played and picked stuff that really works well together, like you mentioned while we were doing the draft. But this is the kind of synergy that when you start a team like this, you're feeling good. You're like, hey, you know what, guys? We are looking good. We are feeling good. We are out here, and we are just working with each other so well. And again, we see the big one for me that I tend to bring up on my cast is the vision game. It is just encroach and engulf the entire jungle here of the Sharks. You see all those wards coming out from the side of the Lions. It is just giving you so much information. So they're allowed to kind of roam and wander around here. The arrow will come on out. 6B will dash away, bait out the bandit touch and the cursed inside mummy, but Ultro gets blown up instead. Cheesecake comes out of nowhere with the void and takes them out. Cage catches 3. As Starclaw now on the run, dealing with that burn from Starling. Tito still doing a lot of damage with those lasers. That Victor's really starting to ramp up, but again, stops the Baron and stops this aggressive push from the Lions. So maybe this is where Sharks say, hey, all we got to do, slow it down for another 10 minutes. Kale is only 3 levels away, guys. We can do this.
Yeah, the scaling, we're there. 1 item Kale. Soon to be 2 items. And that's 16. Yes, we're scaling. Yes. Yeah, you know, I'll be honest, I'm the Sharks supporter, so I'm going to tell you the actual way that they're going to win. You're going to win by doing what we're seeing here in the replay. You're going to burn the ultimate, sure, maybe you can lose a member here. Like, Ultra loss is going to be significant, same thing for the Wukong. But once these ultimates are expended, you can say Lions are out of fuel because their damage drop off massively when they lose the Wombo potential. So they need to, like, make something big out of it. Meanwhile, you have the Victor, you have the Jhin, you have the Kale, and that is massive DPS if they manage to sustain their fight and see angles that the fight can go on for longer and longer. So if you're a Sharks here, you're thinking, okay, how can I make a fight that is as long as possible and bait out as many ultimates as possible without losing members? The angle is there. You have the tools to do that as well. But Freya right now playing a little bit with fire.
Yeah, this is going to be a scary fight. Dragging up in 10 seconds now, and this is for the Mountain Soul here on the Lions side. You see Sheep looking immediately, find multiple members. Oh, the wombo combos, curses that mommy, equalizer, everything is getting thrown at him. Starling going in deep. You see Ultra trying to cut out back. Cage will catch out multiple members, but Cheeto gets blown up. Chaos Storm will still secure a shutdown onto Scorpio, but the team fight clearly won here by Lions. They trade 4 for 1, and they should be able to get this dragon. All Ultra can do here is fire off those volleys and watch as Mountain Soul is now secured, maybe feeling a little bit more confident and comfortable to now go get this Baron.
Yeah, and well, you know, it's pretty ironic how the Sharks are losing the fight in their favorite territory, in the river. You know, maybe, yeah, Sharks are a bit more of a sea creature, so we're gonna see here. Like the angle of the focus coming back and forth, but you can see Chief is just dying to fight an angle. He doesn't care that you're gonna use Deadly Flourish. Once he gets the connection with the bandage box, that was it. The ultimate from Kale was not enough, the heal was not enough, the heal was not enough. And we're gonna say that, like, yeah, the Victor did manage to find something, but that is why you picked up like the Victor, like Jin. You're trying to find the picks that are gonna find something here. Cheeto is putting on a good display, but so far it's not enough for the side of the Sharks, as the Soul has been claimed by the Lions. And the Mountain Soul, especially in a team fight comp where they want to burst you and it's gonna be a very short fight, you having that extra bit of tankiness in the team fight can mean, oh, maybe Scorpio doesn't die from the combo of Cheeto. Yeah, and that's like a win more situation. You're gonna be winning super hard here if you're Lions. You're talking 12k ahead or 10k ahead. Yeah, 12k, exactly, yeah, on the dot.
Yeah.
So like, you're just gonna be winning so much more harder.
Yeah, it's you know, I said it at the 8-minute mark, I said it at the 17-minute mark. I was like, you know, is there a window here? Is there a chance? Is there a way? It is slimmed down. It's honestly a little mailbox at this point, so opening up the flap there. Is there a chance back into this? Only, I would say, Volt, is if the Lions make some goofy mistake here, which honestly at this point we've seen how well Sheep has been for the initiation, finding the bandage shots wherever they can, because they know their team is going to have the capabilities to follow up on that CC, follow up with the most incredible amount of damage and melt them away with the equalizers. So this has been really, really good, and I think, you know, got to give a shout out to Ormond right now. Those Oranhorns have been incredible. In that last Dragon fight, we saw them angle it just so it picked off Starclaw as well too. Like, it's just insane how well these guys are playing together tonight. They take the tier 2 in the mid lane, tier 2 in the top lane's already gone, and you got Starling in the bot lane, so a nice solid 1-3-1 to keep the focus spread thin right now from the Sharks, and it's going to make it so much harder for that kill to get any XP, for her to get any significant levels, because sitting at level 14 right now with Lions knocking on the door of your base is not where you want to be as a Kale.
Yeah, the clock isn't really gonna isn't ticking fast enough here for the Kale. You haven't been accelerated that much. 3 assists, not much of that really solo XP, and we're seeing even the misery is being compounded here. Everybody just angling for the Kale, for something. Treetop is in a very scary situation. The find won't be there, but well, the equalizer as well. And the knife's edge is being played right now. There are 2 big ultimates that are expended, or rather 1. But, bullet time is expended as well. Cyclone is there, the kill ult is there. He's trying to find Scorpio, and that is going to be an absolutely beautiful pick. The Flourish is there. Shifty isn't going to be enough to save him, as the clone is going to wrap it up with a few auto attacks. And the Disciple of the Wuzhu style is going to claim Sarah Fortune.
That was, you know what? Even in their darkest moments here, Stark still showing promise. Maybe disagreeing slightly with them being put at the bottom of the power rankings, because there's still some moves. They're bringing out some moves here like that where they can still combo together, Deadly Flourish from the mid lane, and still find a kill onto a very, very important member here of the Lions. Without this bullet time for the next little while, could potentially be challenging, but there's no major objectives yet on the board. So as of right now, this does give Freya a little bit of flexibility in that bot lane to get that experience, to try and get that level 16, because I know once you get there as Kale, you're feeling much more like a champion. And they, I think, still have 2 or 3 waves to go. So whatever CS, whatever XP that the Sharks have right now on board need to be fed into this Kale if they want to stand a chance in this next fight.
Yeah, I think they're all compelled here, you know. Starting is like, GG, get off my blue. And that
Mine.
is like,
Nope,
yeah.
mine now.
Okay, let's see. Bullet time is there, and once again, the ultimate is just expended pretty much nonchalantly. Confidence from the Lions, but is that gonna bite them back? As we're seeing, like, Sharks are pretty confident on the nice edge so far. Like, you can feel it, they haven't let up. Like, they're still trying to find something. They still believe the Copium is pretty much in action, as I would love to see it. You know, my prediction pick after all. But
Copium
let's see what's
stunts
gonna
going
happen.
up.
Like, yeah, you've lost 1 point. You're almost
Oh
16.
no! Oh no!
And
Oh!
for the monkey.
Way it goes sometimes, Volt. That's again the vision game being played currently by the Lions. They catch out the Wukong, and right now, Elder, 25 seconds away. One of the scariest dragons that can be out there, especially from a team fight that already can blow anything up in vision within just a couple seconds. The Elder's going to be even more scary. So you see the plan here, you see the thought process, which is, you know what? They have no other choice but to come check this Elder. And Starclaw should not be at the front of this, flashing away. The equalizer comes on down to so much damage to these 3 major members. Void rush over the wall here. Cheesecake will flash on out, but that is the level 16 Kale. Can they hold on? Divine Judgment comes on down. Bandage shots will slow down the Kale once again. Should keep washing on back as the Kurgal takes a ton of damage out of the health bar of Scorpio. Lions look at a couple, little rough on a couple of their carries as Freya gets chunked down by Ormond. Still super tanky, but you got 3 big AD beefy champions whacking away on that Orin. Takes him down to just the 3rd HP. Elder's on the board right now, Volt. Will it be the mad dash to try and secure this one? Will we see 3 go over the wall for it? Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, this is the moment. This is the do or die. You know, like, you're seeing Orman here absolutely massively just like taking the Wukong, falling him for as much as he can. The flashes are there, the flash is there.
The Cyclone Beam
No.
takes him out. Elder secured by Lions. And it was a valiant attempt to get in there. Till the very end, the Sharks gave it their all. But I think, Volt, there comes a point in every single league game, 99% of league games, where you can say, all right, this one is about done. As long as the Lions stay true to what they got to do now, they push objectives, they fight if they see anything move, as Sheep has done this entire game. There he goes again. Bandit toss in. Elder Bob. Poof. See you later. I'll throw. In goes Starling with the equalizer. Cheeto gets taken down to half health. Deadly Flourish will lock him down for just a little bit. Cheese taking a power shot there, but the mid inhibitor goes down. That bullet time from Scorpio shreds Starclaw apart, and the Lions stomps forward onto the Nexus turret. They just obliterate Cheeto there, and game 1 of our fall split goes to the Lions.
And a pretty much convincing fashion as well. You gotta give it to the Lions, start to finish. They know their identity, they know what they wanted to do. And, well, they just took everything that they had and pushed it as far as they wanted to. And, well, Thunder, the copium was not enough. The power of friendship was there, the power of training was there, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day here.
Really, though, I think and welcome back to the analyst desk, everybody. Phenomenal game number 1, Gurf and Volt, for our inaugural game of the split. But of course, that game, the power of friendship felt like it was on the side of the Lions. They were moving around. They were indeed the kings of the jungle, and the pride was together the whole time. And it's just seemed like every time Cheesky or Sheep wanted to play, they called it, and the team just said, yeah, let's do it. And that really seemed like just they were all in, they bought it. And it seemed like that's kind of what, hey, your draft league 2 days in, that's what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was gorgeous synergy, gorgeous plays, and Cheesky definitely was the one to start that off, get the ball rolling. But Sheep was incredible on that Amumu. I don't think they missed a bandage top. Maybe one, but we don't even talk about that because they hit like every single other one, and their team was there to follow up on. So the calls that must have been coming through saying, hey, I've got an angle, I'm going to go for it. Can somebody follow up? And at any point, there was at least one or two abilities on the side of the Lions that could just absolutely make it work. So my kudos goes out to Sheep on this one. Support love.
Indeed.
Let's go. Really, really well into that team, and really, really well for their own team as well to thrive, to not just survive, but to flourish and have themselves an incredible first game.
Yeah, Jin was throwing out some of those flourishing shots, but it wasn't it was going the other way. But that being said, speaking of flourishing up in the top lane, I don't think I've ever seen an Ornn gap a Kayle so impressively. There was a 3-level difference between Ornn and Kayle at like the 12-minute mark, and then for Kayle to get from level, I think 14 to 15 took almost 7 minutes. The scaling was just shut down. Volt, how did we feel about that Ornn pick? Do we think that that's going to be something that's going to be let through for Lions in the future? To be fair, that was their sub top laner, but he performed pretty well.
Yeah, think of that as you will. That's your sub. And I'll be honest, like I think that this is like, I'll say it very bluntly, this is like a high diamond, low master level of Ornn game right here. Just the small things that you don't even see like professionals do because they're not that proficient on Ornn. You see the placement of the pillars, the way that he was consistently shutting down the Wukong, and also constantly just putting himself in a position where he's lined up for the CC and ready to follow up on the engage. The calls of the Force God, the positioning of these things. You especially saw that on the Elder, where the Ornn didn't care about the dragon, he didn't care about tanking. The only thing he cared about was like, hey, I'm here, I have a big pillar, I have big horns, I'm the ram, you're not going anywhere. And well, sharks can swim all they want, but if you're sucked out of water and you're stuck in the land of the jungle, nothing is gonna be gained.
Yeah, absolutely not. And there were a couple moments where I was seeing, I think, kudos to Cheeto for doing their absolute best to keep the team in the game. That was kind of, that seemed to be the bright spot for Sharks for this game. But that being said, that was not the only game of the night. So congratulations to Lions for the win. They still have 2 more games tonight, but it will be against other opponents. We will be taking a very short break before we start getting into some analysis about Falcons v Dragons. We will be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Gurf over there looking mad sus, but hey, you know, it is what it is. We are here. We're getting ready, getting teams set up. Again, all teams are playing 3 games today, 3 single best of ones, and they will be doing it for the next 5 weeks against teams in their group. So as the Falcons and Dragons wrap up their first game and start getting set up for their game number 2, we're going to talk about this game up and coming. And last game, I think we got a little bit of a snapshot of maybe why this draft league can be so exciting and so interesting, and also just what some of these picks are coming into this that can cause some problems. But I honestly, looking at it, I don't know if we're going to get some of those, because we have, you know, especially those types of Amumu games, because we have players like Eyesight who not necessarily, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. Eyesight's a jungler. Amumu jungle is a thing. We might just get another MF Amumu lane, which I think would just dominate. But that said, Gurf, how are we feeling about Falcons coming into this split?
Oh, Falcons coming in. I do have some concerns in terms of, you know, we've had some of these players around before, like Ruby Jester, Keep Cat, Husky Runner, and actually, all these players have played in my league tomorrow. What am I worried about? What am I worried about? We got a team of veterans.
It's because it's Night Train. You never know with that guy.
Honestly, that was the point
That's
I was gonna bring up. We do have some veteran players coming back. In the past, haven't had the hottest of splits, so I'm hoping maybe this is a split there. And that's the whole point of draft league, is you grow and you improve as a player over the splits, over the years, and that's the best part of watching these veterans come back over and over again. Eyesight, I'm definitely got my eyes on to see how they're going to perform in the support role. But Night Train is back again and has definitely been a force to reckon with in the jungle. Can play very heavily aggressive style junglers that can get in your face. And not oftentimes, I mentioned, I think, back in the summer split too, it's like, where are all the carry junglers? Where do we see them? Where have they gone? Night Train seems to be holding them all in his pocket and is not sharing with the rest of his friends. But does make for a good performance when he does bust them out there for us. So I'm hoping we do see some big stuff here from Night Train. Definitely hoping that they're at the helm of this team, leading their team forward, whether that be they're getting the kills or we see something last game where Cheesekey is just setting up everybody for those kills. Either way, eyes are on the jungle, watching what the pathing is going to be like. Is it early ganks, or am I just going into the jungle to farm for 15 minutes and then come out an absolutely disgusting monster that is going to one-tap you if I look at you the wrong way? Either way, I'm excited.
Yeah, and on the flip side, we do have the Dragons. We got Hoodie Man, Sean, OTFF, Melee, Vayne in the ADC, which, like, that name alone should probably strike fear into any top lane player's hearts. And then, of course, Gurf, you're gonna have to school me on this one. I'm looking at it and it says Mikachu's because I'm a Pokemon man. I'm thinking Pikachu's. It's Mikachu's. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But I think this team overall, last game we saw the hard, heavy team that just grouped as 5 and basically ARAM that win. Dragons seem pretty well set up for that. And Volt, how are we liking some of these team fight comps? Are those just easier to execute in the kind of the 1-3-1 types of deals? Are we just looking for ease of execution today? And do we think Dragons can do it?
Yeah, we've already discussed. It's week 1, so ease of execution is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself. You don't want to go way too over your head and like draft the macro and whatnot. You just want to focus on the fundamentals. Just get stuff that are pretty much plug and play, and they work well together, and they're not that far outside of the scope of what you play. So we have last game we had the Amumu for the engage. This game Mikachu's can pull out the Seraphine, and that ultimate is just gonna be absolutely enormous as a follow-up engager, as an engage in itself. So like you know, like you still have these tools within the champion pools of each and every member of the Dragons, and then you have OTFF. Well, I'm pretty sure this is his first split, so that is the X factor on the side of Dragons. Everybody else is a known quantity. You have Aishan here, who plays some carry stuff. Maybe you can see an Echo or an AP Shyvana. That is the dark tech that can happen. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just intrigued to see, like, are they gonna like commit to the it's easier to do death ball
Mhm.
or are we gonna see maybe a little bit of Vayne spotting? Because that is intriguing. Because like Vayne has been on and off recently. It really depends on like how comfortable you are. Because
Right.
it's one of the champions where it's the OG. Like, oh, I'm so much better than everyone else. I'm gonna kite you. You have nowhere to go yet. You're gonna get outplayed.
Right. I mean,
So-
that might be, it might come down to those 1v1 outplays, of course. But I think one other thing that we were potentially talking about, there's the 1v1 outplays, but there is also potential. Volt, you talked about it, the Seraphine. I know we were kind of discussing it a little bit earlier, maybe just amongst ourselves, but the possibility of stuff that can just get flexed anywhere. You talked about AP Shyvana. Shyvana can be mid, Shyvana can be top, Shyvana can be jungle. Seraphine can do 3 out of 5 roles. You could also play, there's a million things that you can play. So I think kind of flexibility might be pretty big here. Do we think Dragons might have that? Or again, are we just going to see the comfort? Do we think we're going to see like, power bands instead of comfort bands this time around? What's the vibes going to be for this game? Comfort or power?
Garth, it should be comfort,
question.
right? It's week 1.
I would think so. Ishan has been around in this league for quite some time, has been a captain for quite some time, and honestly makes some really good calls in terms of team synergy, and just knows how to work well with his team and find the picks that work well, not only for them individually, but overall as a team. So I think, coming in with rookies like OTFF and Mikachu's, great name by the way, it is going to be something that I think is more reliable on working together as a team and finding that synergy, whether it be a win or a loss. You know what, I'm going to think it's a win tonight because that is my prediction. I got to stick true to that. While maybe going for a 4-1 comp, allowing Hoodie Man to somewhat be a little bit solo up in there. That top lane, Hoodie Man has been one of those more reliable top laners that can be consistent, that can hold their own. And then Ishan is allowed to go help out his rookies on his team. Say, hey, I am here. I am your captain. I'm here to help. We are a team, and this is week 1, and we are here to win. So I'm hoping to see something like that. Of course, Melee Vayne back again. That name should strike fear into people's hearts because they have been one of the nastiest ADCs to debut into our league. I think this is their either second or third split at this point, and has definitely proven themselves as one of those top, upper tier ADCs in the draft league. So I'm hoping you got that synergy. You got someone nice and strong in the bot lane with Mikachu's. You got someone that can hover around the mid lane for OTFF, and Hoodie Man up there in the top lane saying, hey. But at the end of the day, they can come together and hopefully have some synergy as well too. So a little bit of comfort, a little bit of team comp. I'm interested to see what all those puzzle pieces are going to be once they come together. But I think overall, knowing Ishan as a captain, that the end goal is going to be to build that longer term team synergy that by the time you get to playoffs, this team is one to watch out for.
Right. And hey, they look, quoting, I believe it was Licorice that first said it, the great Licorice LCS top laner. Top lane is not an island, it's an us land, right? It's but again, I'm coming together. There we go. Wait, what's the new one people do where it's I can't do that one. No, like that, like that's the cute easy whatever Volt's doing. I can't figure that one out. I feel like I'm gonna make some sort of bad gesture to do it.
You put your middle finger and the pointer finger, and then you touch the knuckles.
But I mean, speaking of
Nope.
2 players that are probably going to be pretty close enough to maybe even hold the hands. We do have Eyesight and Night Train that are on the side of the Falcons. Eyesight is not necessarily a career jungler, but mostly plays jungle and is kind of role swapping to support for this draft league. And honestly, I'm a big fan of, I feel like, jungler and support are probably the 2 roles that share the most amount of traits or skills between them. I mean, mostly it's like you have to have vision and good roam times, which in theory everyone should be good at, but those 2, the skills translate pretty well. So how do we feel necessarily about Eyesight, Night Train, being able to pair up? Do we think having that experience in the jungle for Eyesight will really be helpful for being able to pair up with Night Train and influence the map?
I think so. It is going to be champion dependent to see what that synergy is going to be. Yes, do I think that should be what happens is, a Night Train and Eyesight buddy up and say, hey, let's go around the map. Let's go find ourselves a gank. Let's go up. And honestly, I've seen a couple times too where you straight up as a support can get your first back and think to yourself, you look at the map and say, is there an opportunity to go towards the mid? Is my jungler looking for that early herald? Should I be there with them? On the blue side, that is a complete and open possibility. You have to take into consideration, what is my bot lane state in right now? Is my ADC in a comfortable place that they can farm underneath the tower and be safe, and knowing that I can go up there and answer a herald, possibly a herald fight if the other jungler is there. And having that advantage with your support there is going to be so good. So if they do decide to do that, it needs to be roaming support. It needs to be something with CC that can be followed up on together. If they're able to do something like that, doesn't matter what those two champs are, as long as they've got something that is cohesive and can work as a two-person unit. I think that is a possibility that could really, really benefit the Falcons for this game.
I think that's something that I do want to discuss a little bit more. We are currently waiting for Dragons to finish their first game and wrap it up. Falcons have made it out for the time being, but we'll talk briefly and see if we can't get them in here soon. But of champion picks, of selections, I know, again, the Ornn, we talked about it, but the Misfortune of Muma also very strong. What do we think are some of these? Again, obviously players are going to be picking comfort, but if a player has 150 games on, I don't know, like Sivir or something, and that gets banned out, and their next most played are all like 20 games total, then what do we think? What are the easy picks that people are going to lean to? Not necessarily easy, but what's going to dominate the lane? What's going to make it easier to fit into a team comp that we might see pretty popular in these first couple of weeks?
Well, from what I'm seeing, or what I should see, you should see a lot of stuff that are, well, I'm gonna be there in lane. I don't care if I'm gonna go even, and then I have the ability, like the util, like the power of like an ultimate, maybe like we've seen the Ornn. It doesn't matter if you were as dominant as Ornman on the Ornn, you can go even, and you will be really impactful. Something akin to the Wukong, for example. Like, you don't need to be that far ahead. You have your good matchups in jungle, but just the innate ability of the fact that you have the Cyclone, which is one of the best teamfight ults, and you have 2 activations of that. That in itself gives you bigger floor to lean on and like a back to lean on. And that is why no matter how far behind like death ball comps and teamfight comps are, you'll still have the ability of, like maybe you can like find the wombo combo and like win a fight, and then Dragons are 5 minutes late to the game or 10 minutes late to the game because they got wiped. Like these kind of situations where you have something to lean on, it's gonna be very important. So when I think of the champion pools, I think like you have Aisham, for example, like you have J4, you have Zac, you have Shyvana. All of these are good ultimates, good champions that have good innate value. Just the fact that they have the Shyvana that can ease your access to dragons, and getting more dragons, and then getting more tanky, and then getting more annoying. You have the access of like, do I want to play AP or do I want to go tank? And you're gonna still be doing good damage on tank. Then you look at melee Vayne. Well, the proof is in the pudding. It's Vayne. But then, since you play Zane, you might as well play like Jinx or Draven.
Zeri?
Yeah. No. We don't call. No, it's not Zeri. It's Neon from Valorant. But
actually, I've messed it up twice.
I mean, to be fair, they were developing the 2 of them next to each other.
Same character, different skins. Okay.
No. It is actually true.
I know. They have the same
it.
voice actor too.
They were talking about it in a Riot blog post, and they're like, "This is the first time we actually make like 2 characters with the same team." And they're like, "How can we make? How can we make the Lightning Girl work in an FPS and work in a MOBA?" Well, in the MOBA, you're gonna have infinite move speed. That is fun.
Yeah.
And well, for a few patches, you're gonna have a skill shot that goes through a wall, gets bigger, crits for half your HP for no reason. But, well, these are what we're going to be tasked with. And so far, we are just being tasked with something like the Zeri, which can be played by Hoodie Man, I think. So that is the option for, like, a very wild top lane here.
Yep. Hey, good champs are good. But We'll be getting drafted in just a moment. Dragons have actually just arrived, and we are getting things set up. So we will stick to the desk while everything is getting going. We'll be going to the draft here in just a couple of minutes. But I mean, those are some of the wild picks that we are talking about, right? You can pull out the unexpected things. And for Hoodie Man, Zeri is, potential. Zeri top, I will say, is probably dead now, right? After the most recent patch, or the most recent couple of patches, Zeri has been shifted away from that lane pretty consistently. But I think, again, top lane, us land, I land, for all of the memes, I do feel like it is a little bit more influential than people are giving it credit for, especially in this. Do we feel like top lane right now is just that, okay, just don't hard lose the game and we'll be fine? Or is it, do we want to play for something up there? And again, this could definitely be team dependent, but do we feel like top lane is relevant when it's not necessarily something that can be coordinated around?
It again, right? I always fall back on this. Yeah, maybe so, maybe not. I think with this, I'm gonna take again a stance on both sides of this. With Ruby Jester and Hoodie Man coming back in, again, they've performed. They've had their good games as well too, but it hasn't been anything that's like, wow, they carried the game single-handedly, like holy moly, name up in the Hall of Champions. Like they're good top laners. They are consistent. They will do what you need them to do. But I will counter that with the other side. It is week 1. They might have been practicing over our break here between summer and fall. They might have some secret picks that could have been working out better, especially now that we're on 12-16. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward towards, is seeing have one or both of these top laners found their niche and really found a way to make themselves the big carry pants up in that top lane. I hope so, because I love seeing top laners duking it out. It's so fun seeing it back and forth when it's just back and forth, blow for blow, and it makes for good content for sure. So fingers crossed that it is on the latter side of what I was saying.
Well, we shall certainly see these two top laners duke it out, unless they're cowards and pick a wet noodle fight. But we're also going to see these teams duke it out and see what they pick. Girth and Volt take it away. We're getting into draft for Falcons v Dragons.
We're back on the draft desk, baby. Let's go, Volts. Game number 2. Falcons. I believe you picked Falcons, correct?
Yep.
I got Dragons.
Yeah.
Maybe we see if we stick with those picks once the draft comes through.
Will I go 0-3 today? Is the question. Will I go 0-3 today?
You never know. If you try hard enough, maybe. But I'm excited. I truly am, because, again, I've mentioned it a bunch of times, my eyes are going to be on Nitro, even though my predictions are for the Dragons. You know what? It's kind of fun getting the upset, saying, you know what? I was wrong, but it was fun being wrong, because they proved me wrong in the best way possible. So, draft is about to kick off now. We should have predictions coming out just as soon as the draft is done, so prepare those points. You better be ready for when that button is clicked. But waiting on the ready check here from the Dragons. They did just come out of a really, really long game, so hopefully they are feeling prepared. They have taken a second here to breathe as the draft now kicks into action, and we get to see what these two teams have in store for us. Now, currently, a game in, we do have updated standings. Dragons did lose that first game, so they are 0-1 currently, but Falcons are on the win train right now. Maybe on the night train? Who knows? Maybe. Up currently 1-0. Maybe. Depending if that's an influence. Some teams a little bit more able to bounce back from an early loss, but the bans are coming through. Vault, what are we seeing? What do we got?
Oh, we're seeing comfort bans back and forth. The Pantheon is just like, well, take a break. Eyesight. I know you're playing jungle. I know you know how to play the Pantheon, because Pantheon jungle was a thing for a while. So no. You're not gonna have an aggro lane. The MF is eliminated, which we were talking about. That is one of the big wombo combo, and we're seeing the Ashe again. Well, the Avarosan tribe is on one today. Yeah, peace along the Freljord, and to match it, we're seeing the Sivir.
I like it. That's a lot of autos actually that can come out from either side of the ADC lane there, but again, question mark with it being B1 Ashe. We just did see it in the support lane. It can be very frustrating to deal with, but with all that CC and all that slow, you gotta have the follow-up to go with it. Sivir's just gonna be cleaning out your lane, so at that point, those volleys should be a little bit more open to actually land. And that as long as you can time the spell shield out, crystal arrows are going to be huge dealing with that Sivir. But again, you need something that can take away that spell shield first. I'm so curious to see what is going to be paired up with that Ashe, and even more so because Dragons have got themselves another pick here. It is time and
it's coming
down.
in. The Enchanters.
Finally, we get it, Bolt. Woo!
And it's Lulu. I think Lulu, in my eyes, she's like the third best. It's like Seraphine, number 1, banned away. They know not to mess with Mikachu's. So like that's the Seraphine taken away. Then you have the Janna, which is really good if you're having like the team fight comps that like we've seen in game 1. But well, so far since they've seen the Ashe, they're expecting a bit more of a laid back comp where like you have Ashe. Oh, never mind. Seeing Leona. Oh, laid back it won't be, but the polymorph is gonna be absolutely enormous once you go in. So still, like Lulu provides a lot of value. She's good into multiple modes, whether you're trying to be the aggressive team and being proactive, or just reacting to something like a Leona engage as well. And I'm very intrigued in the third pick because that is gonna be the thing that will morph the draft. And well, they apparently just decided let's morph it into nothingness as we see the Victor once again. Really stable, really good later on. Takes a bit of time to ramp up, but maybe they're like aiming on OT. Oh no, this is gonna be a special one. Yeah, this is gonna be special.
Okay. We get the Vigar as well. A
Vigar is
couple
so
little
good.
girdles.
It's
gonna
so
be
good.
huge. I mean, both sides are looking good right now. Crystal Arrow, Solar Flare. You got Cage for Victor plus Chaos Storm. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. But on the other side, the On the Hunt from the Sivir. You're getting in each other's face. And
Yeah,
even
the
if
outplay
they come
button, the
at you,
primordial, the primordial outplay button. is
right? You can
there.
use the On the Hunt to kite them back. You've got the Whimsy and you got the Polymorph as well too to essentially turn that Leona into nothing. Hopefully before she gets a Q off on you. Hopefully before the Solar Flare comes down. But the Cage is gonna be the big one, Volt, where Leona wants the Zenith Blade in and is just literally going to hit a wall.
Yeah. Unlucky. It's just like that little Yordle doesn't feel like it today. Oh, bye bye. Just like hands up, bye bye. That's it. So I'll be very intrigued to see like the rest of the draft here, especially from Falcons after the Vigar, because that suddenly disables a lot of engage options. So like right now, you need blinks. You need stuff that are gonna be either long enough range to be out of the cage, or fast enough that they don't get bothered by the cage. And that is already kind of hard because Victor is on the brink of the cage range. Like you can actually catch the Victor once or twice. And speaking of catching, we're gonna see Prince Jarvan the Fourth. They are doubling down. Yeah, they're like, yeah, well, you can use the Jarvan to disengage, engage. The Cataclysm is very good. And, well, balls in your court. Top lane counter here on the R5 for the side of Dragons.
That's really big, too, because, we were chatting a little bit about what might happen in this top lane, and I'm excited to see, having a counter pick. But my focus is there going to be something with maybe some AoE to follow up on all this incredible CC that is out there? Great answer, though, to that Jarvan getting in your face and getting the Cataclysm down is the Poppy. You can also have removal with the Keeper's Verdict to launch some people back to their base for fun. Poppy, always an incredible choice to go. Again, could be flex top. Seen it a bunch in the jungle. Honestly, I see it more in the jungle nowadays than I do actually in the top lane. And that will be the case for this game here because we get something quite spicy. I think top lane's going to be a treat for us tonight. We got a Kled, which is awesome. Ruby Jester on the Kled. We get to see some fun stuff, a little Skarl action, a little, oh my god, his health bar is back again. Surprise, surprise, it's Skarl. What answer is there going to be to this? Because we know Kled players like to get in your face.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it, like, yes, that could be a good option. It's a good shout, to be honest. And we're gonna see it. I mean, the thing is, like, this is such a good comp. It's like, yeah, Leona comes in, well, bye-bye, suplex back in, just in case you get there. I don't know if Kled is unstoppable during the ultimate. Is he?
I don't think he can be stopped until he gets his target.
Yeah.
So I like this though. It's back and forth, Volt. It's back and forth. You got strength in numbers on multiple sides. You have strength individually on either side here. I think it comes down to when you're executing, when you're using your ults, who's using them first, what combinations. And this is what makes these kind of drafts so much fun, is because it can honestly go either way. And it comes down to just the play, how the team is working together and how they're doing individually. I see Chad too. Thunder's there. No wet noodles today. Absolutely not. Top lane's going to be banging for game number 2 here today. But while we're getting ready to go, Volt, any final thoughts, considerations about these team comps, or what are we looking out for in this game 2?
Well, remember in game 1, we were talking about how Lions had more of a cohesive identity and Sharks were like a little bit spread out there. Well, we're seeing a bit spread out there on both sides. So it's not gonna be a question of like who can push the button harder. It's gonna be a question of who can divide and conquer more than anything. Because like you have the Poppy for the disabled, you have the Kled. Kled just screams, "I want to go in." And then you have the Vigard that's like, no, take a break, breather, cage, one button kill. Which, I mean, Kled is such a good counter to Vigard just in that aspect. It's like, you need to wait until you're dismounted to use the ultimate to kill the Kled. Like, Kled is like, well, have a mini GA, is what I would call it, where like you cannot get one shot on the Kled. So like, that is absolutely enormous when you're talking about that kind of comp. Because when I look at it, especially on the side of Dragons, like, your sole DPS is going to be the Sivir. And then you're going to have like rotation of burst coming from OTFF.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you have someone that can just say, well, your rotation of burst doesn't really matter to me that much. You know, you can basically like burst everything onto me. I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, not in the best state, but I'll be in position to get back up eventually. Maybe Skarl will like get his feet back there. As Kled himself would say.
Classic theme of Kled. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Yeah. So you ain't ever gonna keep me down. Before we go to our quick break as we get set up, it's honestly I'm looking at this. Well, it's like answer for answer. You go in. Either Set removes you, Poppy removes you.
Yeah.
You want to speed up? You've got a Kled for the Falcons. You got Sivir.
You got Sivir
for the Dragons. Yeah. You want to burst somebody? You've got a Victor. You got yourself a Vigar. You want CC and ridiculous stuff coming out? Well, yeah, Leona and Lulu are both there. Plus your DPS right there as our R1B1. This is gonna be fun. Toe for toe. I think both these comps are looking to probably do about the same thing. It comes down to who's being smarter with their plays. I'm so excited to see this one get going. But with that being said,
before we go off there, have a very like fun mini game. Where do you think first blood is gonna happen with these drafts?
Oh, I honestly think we may see. You know what? If I'm gonna be realistic here, bot lane level 2 Falcons Leona. You look at a Lulu and say, hey, that's a nice looking little Yordle there. Sounds to me like first blood, and it's doable. Slow Zenith Blade, Leona Q. I would think most statistically possible and realistic would be in that bot lane for Falcons. How about you?
I mean, I'm thinking the same lane, but for very different reasons. Like, well, the Poppy is there, and suddenly you have nowhere to go. You either get CC'd in place, or get CC'd by a wall. So that's how it's gonna happen. So like, the bot lane is the lane that has the most potential to blow out for either side, to be honest. Like, is the Lulu just gonna make you just think, oh, not the Yordles again? They like, they look so cute, but they're like, well, you're gonna suffer tonight. And well, we have 2 Yordles that specialize in suffering. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think we're due to take a small break before the game kicks off.
Yep. Don't forget to get those predictions in. They should be firing out into the Twitch sphere in just a few short moments. Let us know if you think it's going to be the Falcons, who are currently up 1-0, or the Dragons, who are currently down 0-1. If we have that lead extending for the Falcons, or if both these teams are going to be 1-1 after game 2 tonight. We'll see you in just a few short minutes on the Rift for our second game of week number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers alike, welcome back to the VAD week number 1, and we got ourselves a little bit of a start to this game. Let's get going as game number 2 is about to unfold. Falcons did win their game earlier tonight. Dragons unfortunately did lose game number 1, but hopefully they can turn that luck around as here we go. Little 5-point defense from both sides right now, covering their bases again. It's game 2, so they've warmed up a little bit. Hopefully, okay, quick little pause. That's okay. We'll get that that classic little Sutter step as we do get after a pause. A pause after a pause. Question mark on when. Wait a minute. Wait a second. This is definitely a new one for me, guys.
Rito, a riot.
Hold. What's
Sure.
happened?
I think this is the new Instagram filter, or is it? Wait, this is a new Rift event. Yeah, this is it. This is the new Rift event. It's like frozen in time, where they're gonna reveal. There
There it is.
Yeah,
Little hiccup.
Lillian is invading the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to find them.
We're good to go now, though. Game number 2 officially underway. Do you want to take a look at some of these summoner spells, runes, items that we get to see here? Melee Vayne actually starting with the call and the cleanse. So already has a spell shield, knowing though you've got to deal with Leona, you've got to deal with that crystal arrow, has opted for the cleanse as well. So that is double safety from that CC, and would expect to be hopefully saving that for when the time comes. Level 2 Leona, very, very scary engage. But of course, those level 6s, Solar Flare paired up with the Crystal Arrow. It's just ease of execution, right? That's something we've brought up time and time again so far just tonight. But definitely something that I think is going to be really, really useful for Husky and Eyesight.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about that. I think Ashe Leona is one of the oldest, the most tried and true bot lane combos that we've had in the league. I think it's been forever since I've actually seen that combo with Ashe's ADC. It's like we almost forgotten about it. It's like, yeah, you know, Ashe, Archer, he's an AD carry. You know, like these kind of stuff. Well, the league is evolving, and now instead of just a normal girl with white hair and arrows, or like the descendant of Azir with a weapon that has the Darkin within it, I think. It's not even one Darkin, it's a lot of Darkin, I think.
There's a few Darkin out there. I think actually, I don't know if you saw the rumors, there's a potential, another hinted Darkin coming down the road with their weapon. It was hinted as a dagger. So I'm curious to see what it's going to be. Those Darkin characters can be really cool, but we are getting a little bit of trading back and forth in this top lane. Is a little bit more spicy than we expected, as it is Ruby just going on in. Still has a lot of that health bar, mainly from the Skarl. So thank you. Shout out to Skarl here. Hoodie Man has a huge wave to deal with, and that health bar already taken down to under half. So keep your eyes on the top lane. Should be interesting. They are going to spot out Ishan actually walking through the jungle. A deep ward in the river will catch him coming down from his blue. So really well done off the bat from my side here. As in goes Ruby Jester once again. And a little bit of a DC. Uh-oh.
Ooh. This game is already like, I feel like we're gonna need a chrono break at one point at the rate of this game. Like, let's be real about this. Chrono break time. Yeah. Zillion, you're on duty.
Yeah. I do believe, though, this one's got to get unpaused real quick just because there was combat occurring in the top side of the map. So even with the DC, in that case, combat needs to finish first, and then you can safely pause your game. Now, both teams have plenty of pause time. I believe it is 10 minutes per team. In the case of DCs and stuff like that as well too, right? That is the life. That is the reality of playing remote. But for now, we wait. We hold our breaths. So far, though, it's been nice seeing that trade back and forth. We're seeing already these teams are taking a chunk out of each other. Any concerns or thoughts about these runes that we're seeing in game number 2 here, Volt?
I mean, there is a bit of techers here from OTFF. You see the Predator, and that is just gonna signal Predator almost perma roaming Vicar with Everfrost, because that is the combo. Like, I think that is the combo that Nemesis popularized when he was playing in Korea early on. Like, just Predator, Vicar with Everfrost and DP or Ghost. So you have that very powerful roaming, and especially like we're talking about the side of Falcons, you don't have a single blink. If you're inside the cage, you're inside the cage. You just either flash out or you die. So that in itself is a very dangerous proposition here for the Falcons if that bodyguard gets enabled. And well, so far he's been having a comfortable lane. You talked about the cleanse. It's good in a defensive way, but in my eyes, I think it's just a little bit too much on the Sipper. You already have the spell shield, and if you get caught up once, if you get caught up twice, you're gonna be CC the third time.
Yeah.
Like Leona on her own has Solar Flare, Zenith, and Daybreak. So these are 3 CCs. Then you have Crystal Arrow, you have the Poppy Stun, you have Colette pulling you over. If you are caught, and like caught as in like picked, not just like a stray ability hits you in a team fight, you're doomed. So maybe I think Vayne is thinking, oh, like they aren't really gonna access me before they get like Hoodie and Aishan. So that is an angle where I can see the cleanse working, where like you're just scared of like the random crystal arrow that just like flies into your face for no reason because nobody blocked it for you. So like that potential is there, but like the fact that now you're lacking either exhaust or ignite gimps your 2v2 potential. Yeah. Which can signal that like maybe you're just like, yeah, we'll concede lane. We don't really care. If we are getting back in, Fate is coming in, the kick is gonna be there. Haymaker, Phase Breaker, but not enough.
Yeah, a little bit of trading still back and forth, at least taking off the Scald. It is a possibility. Just getting, that's the mental hurdle right there saying, okay, the Scald can be removed. Of course, we're going to have ourselves another quick little pause, but take a look in the mid lane because Night Train has done a little bit of a bamboozle, a little sneak around here. And as soon as I clap my hands like this, the game shall unpause, just like that. See, easy peasy. Cage is out though, and that's exactly what we were expecting here from OTFF, was having that as just a great defensive tool to say, not diving me, no thank you, no thanks, you're not my friend, out of my lane, please. Back up to the top side of the river as both jungles are going to go for these scuttles, and we will have to wait another minute 20 for the first dragon, but Ishan making his way down to the bot lane will get spotted out on the tri-bush, so Eyesight and Husky Runner on the one right now. That's going to be the Boomerang Blade coming through, diving on in. Eyesight will flash out, but not before hitting Ishan with the Daybreak there. Little stun say, hey, that's enough of that, sir. Thank you very much. Back they go. They stave off that first gank, but 2 flashes blown for that. Wouldn't be surprised if Ishan is coming back for seconds real soon.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good gank. Like, you pretty much wasted nothing. You're even on tempo with your recall here. What aside is Ishan. Speaking of tempo, the tempo of fighting in the top lane is not slowing down.
Shield.
Phase Breaker is coming in, and well, once again, you know, like just that's it pre-mounted. That is like, yeah, I'm confident with being healed. This isn't the wet noodle fight. This is the Korean spicy ramen fight.
Oh, you know what? I love some spicy ramen right now. That actually sounds so good, but not so good for Hoodie Man X as the flash for flash comes through. Night Train's up in the top lane. Will the shield be enough? Because Ishan's here to answer. Hoodie Man's getting low, but so is Ruby Juster. It's first blood for Hoodie Man X. Night Train is going to get picked off too. A double kill for the Dragon's top laner. What a way to start this one off.
Yeah, and a quick 1-2 here. The punch is coming in from Hoodie Man. And that is gonna be the turnaround here from the side of the Dragons. Well, what can you say? It's just a good old, you know, top lane fight. This is the top lane we love. Just Glad and Set going back and forth with each other, as you're gonna see on the replay. Yeah, you can see, like, they just don't care. They're like, we see each other. We jump. And then Night Train, he was going ring around the Rosie on the top side. This time he was giving that treatment to Hoodie Max. Hoodie Max, you can see the flash was burned. Flash and trade, it was almost there, but as you can see, like, Phase Breaker was good value. Ishan was there to slow him down. You can see how low Hoodie Man was. If it wasn't for that throw from Darwin, I think the set would have been dead. That W on its own was enough to give the space for Hoodie Man to heal, to regenerate his Q, and get the turnaround. Beautiful play from both players at Dragons. And well, now, yeah, sure, you have 10 CS lead, but that doesn't offset the 2 kills here if you're Ruby Justice.
And again, great idea and principle from Ruby Jester and Night Train. But you take a look at the map. You take a look at what was up there. Dragon, not yet spawned. You know Ishan was just on the bot side of the map. So the only logical place he could be. Again, sometimes we see junglers going places you wouldn't expect them. But logically, you would think he's going to the top lane for a gank. Speaking of, in comes Ruby Jester with the charge. OTFF is taken down. Ruby Jester picking up a kill in that mid lane. Couple of assists, I believe, are picked up here. Well, at least one for Keep Cat. Really well done to answer on back. But the big thing is, again, back to my point I was making before we had that fight break out, was the overall macro, was the overall control of the jungle and these rotations, because Dragon now on the board. We have had the Falcons rotate down, did not spot out Ishan actually taking that blast cone over into the river. So they have no idea right now. He is in that bush currently. Dragon down to under 2,500 HP. Ishan's going to be walking on up, but it's going to be a little risky here. You got that Leona, you got Keepy Cat. However, no ult on the Victor. Eyesight running interference right now. Dragon's getting lower and lower. The smite story is available. Here's in goes Ishan. It is going to be claimed by Night Train as the Poppy does get taken down. OTFF getting the revenge with a double kill. Looking potentially for a third here as they're chasing down Keepy Cat. And OTFF picks up 3 kills, the unofficial triple. This Vigar is now officially huge, and it's only 8 minutes in this game.
Well, 3 minutes in, you know, like in this space of 3 minutes or 2 minutes. You got Kled just, you see, like the replay is gonna come in here, so let's talk about that. Yeah, the Dragon, Ishan was just like, yeah, I can see, well, guys, let's go. You can see he's like yearning to go in. And see Mikachu's is there. I started just trying to space, but he wasn't enough. Shield of Daybreak was there, but the polymorph we were talking about was good enough. And then OTFF just, he walks in and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna cage. I don't care about you, Victor. Sorry, Kit Kat. Like, you know, you're not threatening enough. And well, OTFF just cages them, gets 1, gets 2, and then the Cavalry here for the arrival, for the saving, for the help, and that is going to be cleaning up the glorious evolution.
This is a little risky too, with the double knock up, the double Cataclysm Husky, and Eyesight both caught out on it. The Zenith Blade will take you nowhere. Cage from OTFF as well too. Now on a rampage, gets that kill on a Husky runner. Vigar now 4-1-0, looking huge. But again, questionable why they were there. Maybe looking for some wards. Listen, I too have been caught out many times looking for that juicy ward, saying, hey, you know what, it'd be great if I get some vision down here. Unfortunately, the punish is there. Ishan is down the box side again. Night Train looking for an answer. Chaos Storm is out. Night Train will be flashed away from the Vigar, but into the wall. Not going to be able to get the stun. Keep on running. Chilling Smite comes down. Can he make it out? He kept trying for another cage, and Night Train continues the charge. Wait, what?
The primordial outplay
gets the burst down and takes out Night Train. Ishan now flipping the table, saying, nah, this isn't your game. You chased too far. Ishan takes out Keep Cat, and Dragon say how the turntables. Thank you for the kills. They're up 8-1.
Oh my, how the turns. How the turns of tables, indeed. What is this? The primordial outplay button just coming in the nick of time. You can see the cage was their ghost sign, but OTFF was managing to space properly, flashing into the bush here, delaying the heroic dash as much as he can here. Night Train is trying to find something. The first Q wasn't there. Second one didn't connect in the second part, and well, the outplay button is there. He gets the kill. The cage is back. And now you're thinking, not again. It's got it, like, not again, not this again, not like this, not like this. And well, you get just hit down by the Jarvan. Beautiful play here from ATFF, to be honest. Like the outplay just to get himself in that position. We were talking about outplays.
He's back again. Ishan looking for more in this top lane. Night Train though is back to answer the charge. Was used. Ishan gets low, knocked up by the Keeper's Verdict. The Ruby Jester will be able to take that one. Hoodie Man X's. Oh, beautiful flash away from Night Train to stay alive. Into the wall. That's a shutdown for Ruby Jester, but Night Train with the move to secure those ones. OTFF is rotating up. You are going to have P-Cat up here real soon. OTFF does not have the amount of damage needed in order to remove that health bar from Ruby Jester. It seems that one team is looking good, the other one's just able to flip it right back around, and Falcons able to put some gold back into their pockets. Now 4-1 on the Red Bulls.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about the Viper. Now we have the carrier composition. A very angry Yordle. A very, very angry Yordle. You can see here, like the ultimate was expended. He manages to just slip away here on the Kled. The charge, and the charge back in on Ishan was just enough. You can see the bear trap just pulling him in the very last second. The suplex was a little bit too late here from Hoodie Man, and the flash was absolutely on spot, on time for Night Train. Well, OTFF is just like, can I clean up? Can I clean up? And it's like, yeah, you can clean up. You're that corpse. You know, that's the perfect Kled moment here, where like you can see somebody's trying to come and flank you, and you're like, well, sorry for you, man. You're out from the chopping block. And that is gonna be the fourth. The Gore Drinker is already in on the Kled, and that is gonna be absolutely huge. And now we're seeing the Vigard tech. That is gonna be the time to shine. The Everfrost is there, Predator is there, and they're just angling for it.
It's the setup for this next Dragon. It is going to be Cloud, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, next deck or Infernal Soul, because those are the spiciest we can get. Not to knock the Dragons right now, because they have honestly each gotten a significant increase. They are all worth securing Soul. As Herald does get spun top, we are going to see the finishing off of this Cloud Drake real quick, as Dragons do secure their first Dragon of the game. It's just funny how that works out. Top lane, though, I think Set is having a little bit of a rough time up there, as we do have Hoodie Man X push past the tower. That tier 1 was taken by Shelly. She might potentially be able to get off the second charge here. Not much Hoodie Man X can do to step up here, knowing that Night Train is just around the corner.
Yep, the second charge is gonna connect, and that is half of the HP of the 600 gold tower right there. You know, we're talking about gold. It's almost that even, despite the deficit of the 4 kills, just for the early first blood tower. Second charge is there. Now you have the potential to even just have a dedicated special threat that is that far ahead. Like a 1v2, I think is very doable here if you play your cards right and like pick your timing on the slipper. But well, he's gonna pick his timing, and OTFF is just gonna like be on the FF charge.
Yeah. Not much you can do about that one, Bolt. It's a charge. That is 3 members of the Falcons, and they say, hey, thank you for 300 gold. We will take that. We will pocket that. We will go treat ourselves to something nice eventually. We did briefly get a look at those gold numbers right now, and a few of these members.
Oh, charging again.
Go treat themselves quite nicely. Yeah, Ruby Jester is definitely using that tempo and that momentum to their best of their abilities right now, and it's working out quite nice, Bolt.
Yeah, I would say that is working really well. Once again, OTFF just got a little bit overzealous. And, like, you know, not respecting
angle,
the range of
the
charge, the cataclysm,
the wild growth. Are you kidding me? Look at the size of Ishan. Pikachu's will get a well-earned and well-deserved kill there for just giving their team everything. Holy moly, it's wombo combo ultimates after ultimates. 3 big ones used there, but they secure a kill into the bot side. No Dragon up for another 2 minutes, almost 3. Ooh. As OTFF coming down to this bot lane. That's a simple cage. That's a simple cataclysm that could be, well, not coming out yet because it's on cooldown. But maybe looking for the tower. Probably second guessing themselves now because they think, you know what, we stayed around here for quite some time. They got to know there's going to be some members of Falcons on the way, and just in time here, Zenith Blade comes through on a Mikachu's, locked on down with that Leona Q, and Mikachu's like, run my ADC, run my friend, I shall be the sacrificial lamb. TP going back up to the top lane, Eyesight now left all alone in the cage, Primordial Burst, will it come out? See you later, OTFF! Picking up another kill here. It's back and forth is in the top of trading once again. Look at the set all coming through. Both of these guys doing so much damage. Ruby Jester though on the chase, looking for more. No tower to hide behind. His Hoodie Man X needs to watch out. Scarl's coming back right now, and on top he goes. Conqueror stacks have been procced for both of these guys, and it's a solo kill for Ruby Jester.
Oh no, Gerb! I hope you're catching your breath. What a roundabout. Like, you can see like Ruby Jester just everywhere. The man is on a tear today. This game is on a tear, and you can see Dragons are just like trying to claw back their second game. And you can see on the replay here, like Ruby Jester just like bot lane. Night Train is like, well, here I come, and the catch there from the Zenith Blade was enough. Just putting Mikachu's back. Melee Vayne is not gonna be in melee range, so that gets out safely. And then Ishan and OTFF are gonna clean their pick. And you know, just like non-stop action, like replay cuts off here. But we had another 1v1 on the top side. The action once again is non-stop in the VAD so far. But yeah, the game is lining up to be an absolute cracker. You have the outplay button on OTFF on one side, and then the other side you have the unkillable, remountable set. It almost feels like, with the way that the game is going, that he's almost going to be guaranteed a remount in each and every team.
And that much money.
Very scary.
Yeah, Ruby Jester's like close to 2K over what Hoodie Man X has made so far this game. So that is almost a full item. They should be ahead at this point since, yeah, raking in the money right now. Colette is looking huge and should be huge for the next little while. But, well, we got ourselves an Ocean Drake coming up. It is an Ocean Soul, and I would say realistically on both these sides, you slap an Ocean Dragon, you slap an Ocean Soul on either one, this is going to benefit them extremely, extremely well. Now, of course, the Solar Flare is available, but that is going to be the missed opportunity from the arrow. Solar Flare only lands on the Ishan, but it was mid Flag and Drake. Keeper's Verdict coming out a little bit early, and Ruby Jester trying to catch somebody out, potentially sneaking past the blue buff. But that's a lot of ults used. Chaos Storm is the only one left for the Falcons. Dragons need to make the move right now. In goes Ishan with a 4-man Cataclysm. Are you insane? Ruby Jester's caught on out. Ishan's getting low. Melee Vayne will flash away from that. Primordial burst takes out the Leona. And Falcons are down to just 3 members. They keep on going with the laser Victors. The Victor lasers backwards there, doing a lot of damage. Still, OTFF doing even more. Mikachu's will catch out this back coming through. Boomerang Blade will catch Ruby Jester, and it's a huge shutdown for Melee Vayne. You couldn't have asked to put that gold on anyone better. This should be a dragon for the Dragons.
Yeah, once again, like, the Dragon buff is coming in for the Dragons. Victor is coming back in. We're gonna see the replay of the fight, though. Victor seems to be going well. Yeah, because the Ishan is just like, give me something. The Cataclysm is absolutely perfect. Go Drinker to keep him alive. The Flash is gonna be out. Primordial Burst here. Very beautiful from the side of the OTFF. And Ishan once again managed to find a flag and drag. And that is gonna be enough. Like, the cleanup crew is here. Melee Vayne is just trying to find whatever they can. And you can see here, Mikachu is just like, what is going on? Why is he still recalling on the ward? Like, everybody just like survives for a second, startled. And that is gonna be it. Yeah, like, we thought that the game was just pretty much back and forth. Right now, there is a definitive lead for the Dragons after that.
But right off the bat, after the backs came, well, after everyone was back and came back in, Falcons did secure that early, or that, I would say, they secured a Rift Herald. It is gonna be nice though, because Baron is up in less than 3 seconds now, basically already on the board. It's already doing its thing. But look at Eyesight with the Zenith Blade in. They pick off Ishan, and the gold goes over to Ruby Jester. Another lovely pick again. Another GP is gonna be going towards the bot lane. We are gonna send Cat down there to hold out there. Hold on, pick up some farm, get those numbers rolling. You have the Herald now, getting a nice charge down the mid lane. Ruby Jester and 3 other members of their team is going to be able to take out that tier 1 mid tower, which is honestly tier 1 mid, one of the most important. Jelly looking for another lineup here. This is a really good push here from the Esports.
Yeah, the push is there. The second source is coming in as well, and that is a lot of control that he's going to be able to get here, especially if you combine that with the top tier 2. But speaking of which, Hoodie Man has been just a silent man for the last 5 minutes. What has been up to? He got the first tower in the top side. He's been getting a ton of solo XP. You would say he's almost caught up to where Hoodie Man is. And speaking of caught up, ODFF is just catching KYB Cat. cage is not gonna be enough, and it's gonna elect to play it safe. That was a very dangerous position here for the Victor. Like, thankfully, like guy just got a very nice pair of shoes. That's what I was saying. Just escaping that cage. Once you're in that cage, you're pretty much doomed. It's all doom and gloom with the Dark Yordle.
Wait a minute, no, that's another Yordle. Another mid lane burst AP.
No, but there is the depressed Yordle, and then there's the angry Yordle.
Cat might have gotten get some good damage on the OTFF. Chaos Storm again does slow down the further away it gets from you. OTFF though, you see the stacks there in the bottom left corner of your screen, 236 at 21 minutes. That is a pretty healthy rate to be rolling as the Vigar. So 8-3 and 2 as well with a Rabadon's already completed. Yeah, OTFF is going to be hitting hard. I think give it another 10 minutes. Keep Cat should be able to keep up as well. Dude, already we've seen those Victor lasers doing so much damage in team fights, but it's that immediate burst that regardless of how much magic resist you do happen to build, it is going to get through. He is going to do so much damage. You get a little time to breathe and kind of examine what's gone on so far. That mid lane, OTFF, we talked about Ishan facilitating getting these rookies ahead in their early starts in the beginning of this league, and it seems that they have just followed that plan through and through so far this game.
Almost 100% KP, which is an absolute monster stat for a jungler, to be honest. That means that like, everything you've been an instrumental part of. And like looking at the game so far, I'm just like kind of curious about some of the itemizations. So we see the Ludens on the Victor here. So what do you think about it, like Ludens versus Leandres? Because that is a very hot argument and a very hot debate. And especially against a team comp that has stuff that are moving parts. Speaking of moving parts.
Oh boy, are we going again? OTFF in the top lane, but by themselves. Like Train getting caught out in the cage. Back to your point about Ludens though. It depends. Depends what you want, right? I would say if you're looking at a team stacked with % health, you want to get the burn down. You want it to be that slow burn. If you're pairing up, especially with the Demonic Ascension, it could be really, really good to go for that Leandre's. Or if cooldown's your game, absolutely. With Victor, you're going to be looking for that burst, and in order to keep up, I think with the amount of natural burst that Vigar gets from his passive, Luden's not the worst of options. We're going to see maybe if we get an example of that in just a few moments, because Dragon is on the map. Volt might have something breaking out in just a few more moments. This is definitely going to be a big Dragon right here. Big fight if Falcons do decide to go for it.
Yep, and the Dragon is going to be activated by KitKat here, and damage is going to start to be ensued. And speaking of the damage, the charge
in, Ruby Jester's down, Solar Flare has been popped. OTFF with the Zonia's Ruby Jester's in deep. That's going to be Dots as well too. Off the Scar we see in the backside. Hoodieman X is able to pick up a kill as well. Melee Ben trying to kite on back, but already getting jumped on, and Hoodieman X is trying to take down KitKat as well too. Caught out in the cage. It's a double kill for Ruby Jester as the Falcons find the fight that they need. This game has now been more than even out. They take back the lead, just 400 gold, a kill down, but they're gonna secure this second Ocean Drake. Falcons fully back in this game now, folks.
Yeah, you know, once you thought that like, oh, the Dragon buff is there, you know, third time's the charm. No, Falcons are gonna be good enough. You can see here on the replay, the charge was absolutely perfect. Night Train just waiting to layer the safety, and OTFF didn't get to play the game. Shield wasn't enough, melee Vayne just playing Silver Spotting here. You know, it's a fun variation of Vayne Spotting where you have no option but to die to the Kled. And Hoodie Man, like, you know, we were talking about the space and the freedom he's been having, and that wasn't enough. You know, like the charge and the piling was just very hard in OTFF, and there wasn't enough stopping power on the side of the Dragons to just like disable the engagement. So far, if that is gonna be the state of the game, where you don't have enough, I would say a stagger of the engage, where you should have make a choose with the falling mode. You should have the on the hunt to try to peel you back, the suplex to try to peel back as well. If we don't see these tools utilized, or if we see Falcons with what they did, and they just find an angle, and OTFF overexpose himself a little bit. If we're gonna see a repeat of these, it's gonna be a very good situation here for the Falcons. Speaking of situations, Night Train has been chunked for a fair bit.
Look at this though, kind of some awkward angles. Oh no, Eyesight potentially caught on out. Xenoblade in. Will the Falcons go and answer? The Soul Flare comes down as well too, but Eyesight is taken on down. Eshawn might be next to go as the Keeper's Verdict will actually save him! Hoodie Man X taking out Keith Cat as Night Train is forced to back on out of the jungle. Tier 1 mid will fall as well. And that is going to be devastating for the Falcons. Baron pick control now in the hands of the Dragons, but we are going to see the resets coming through as Ruby Jester might be taking this game into their own hands. They're pushing in the bot lane, able to take that tier 2 bot tower.
Yeah, the good old, step push. That is what you love to see, and we're gonna see the team fight here. And look at the minimap, in the replay. The most important part, you can see the early chunk here on Night Train. That just makes them a little bit more vulnerable, and danger man of Falcon, Ruby Jester wasn't there. The cage was good enough to hook on Eyesight inside, and you're gonna be staggered by the DPS. Aishan just managed to survive long enough, as you were saying, the Keeper's Verdict. You can see how low he was there. And Hoodie Man is just gonna have the haymaker here to finalize that second kill and put the edge ever so slightly in the hands of the Dragons once again.
Oh my goodness, back and
Wait,
forth.
the Dragons
back
have
and
hands? Like, what do you call their limbs? Do you call them paws, hands?
claws. I would say claws, dragon claws. Yeah. But let's say some have hands. It will. That's a good debate.
Yeah.
Chat, duke it out. Hoodie Man X though is going toe to toe. Maybe time for some revenge of all that bullying that occurred in the top lane. We'll flash that mastery level 6 right there. Swing, swing. As they take that tower in the bot side. It was going really well for Ruby Jester, and still 9-3 and 5. That is nothing to scoff at. That's a huge Kled that's out here. More so, it's Hoodie Man X that is now able to keep up and go toe-to-toe with that Kled. Able to shred the life bar before they go. Keeper's Verdict will remove one. We'll try to scoot on out of the bird before any more damage comes. But you can see the Falcons are lined up. Baron is on the board. And you still have a split-pushing Hoodie Man X. Doesn't have TP this game, so can't make it up to this Baron fight if they do decide to go for it, if a fight breaks out. But based on that damage volt, Hoodie Man X is going to be able to push some towers if he's allowed here.
Yeah, but the Victor is here, and his Victor is going to be super good, especially... Like, you look at Ruby Jester, I think the difference maker here is that Ruby Jester has been investing a lot into MR to dissuade OTFF from targeting him. Meanwhile, Hoodie Man is just full damage, Stride Breaker, Bork, probably going for the Death Dance third. So he's gonna be very dangerous if he gets onto you. Meanwhile, Ruby Jester is very prominent in the team fight. So that is gonna be the difference. Hoodie Man here just saying, whatever you can do, I can do as well. Maybe even better. Yet to see that, yet to see a definitive 5v5 team fight where both top laners have their say and have the space to impact the team fight. But so far, you would say so good for both teams. Still, Falcons think, yeah, this game is very doable. We just need to clean up our execution. Maybe remove a little bit of the sloppiness that we've had here, the wasting, for example, of the Keeper's Verdict. It's back here. And the Fnatic Death Bush is ensuing on both ends. You can see everyone is just yeah, come in, please take a step. And it's gonna be both objectives being created here. And see, I do wonder. They didn't start the Drake instantly. I think the objectives are actually gonna be traded.
Oh, this is actually gonna be wild. Yeah, Baron for Dragon. You saw, I was almost gonna commend the Dragons. You saw the synergistic recalls. They all went back. They saw Dragon was up. But no wards were left on this Baron. The control wards behind the pit were cleared out. And at this point, Falcons definitely have the amount of damage to clear that Baron out quick. They scoop up the big purple worm, and now they're pushing their way through the top half of this map. Tier 2 will go down. They still got Baron up minions, but they're going to be the ones with the synergistic recalls right now, except they get to do it 5 seconds faster.
Yep, recalls all on the corner here for the side of Falcons. That is an absolutely huge Baron. You know that you can't contest the Drake because you aren't there. You've been spending the last minute setting up that chase on the Baron. Traded objectives, I would say it's a win. just off the fact like you got the tower here on the top side. Got a lot of people here, and speaking of people, Woody Man is being caught up.
Trouble. Eyesights here for the CC. Zenith Blade gonna be flashed away. Night Train though is hungry for some more. Wants some kills. Tries to knock him into the wall. Keeper's Verdict to get the knock up. Solar Flare comes down. That's a lot of ultimates used. Will they be able to get him? I do believe so. Shutdown goes on over to Keep Cat. Currently though, you have some action in the lanes here. I think choose just trying to walk some minions on in. That tower was so low, but cannot mess around with Keep Cat right now. This late in the game, Shadow Flame, Ludens, Sork Shoes. Yeah, that Victor is definitely going to be looking strong. But 1, 2, 3 on the tower's health. Very nice.
Yeah, very synergistic, as you're saying. Speaking of synergy, Mikachu's and Ishan could either like be in a very desperate situation or just find something. Speaking of finding something, here we go.
Hold on. Wait, Ishan does have the wild growth. Mikachu needs to try and get on out of there. Oh, that's gonna be another shutdown for OTFF. Mikachu still managed to get on out. Did need to burn the flash in order to do it. But for Dragons, it's a little, honestly, both a little awkward for both teams in that jungle. They're like, are we going or are they? And then I think the other team is like, are we going or are they going?
Are we pincering or are we being pincered?
Bamboozled each other there.
Yeah. Still, you know, like Dragons ends up with the W here, finding the pick onto Night Train. Once again, like, you gotta remember, like, the infinite scaling on this wild card is commencing, man. That is gonna be very scary. Eventually, it's just the Meteor Fall. Is it called the Meteor Fall? The Vigar W?
Do you believe it? No, Dark Matter.
No, it's called Dark Matter. Yeah. These Dark Matters are gonna be more than enough to just like make you think twice about like just standing there and tanking it or flashing. And once we get to that point, it will be very scary because Ash's DPS isn't gonna match up to Sivir later on in the game as well.
Yeah. It is definitely been the Sivir train recently on how strong she feels again. I honestly haven't played Sivir since Season 4, Season 5, where it was static Shiv, IE, and everything was nice, and you got to auto like an absolute beast. And it feels, honestly, it feels like Sivir is back in that form again. I was going to make a joke about Meteor Falls, but I don't think we have time because Ishan already getting jumped on. That's going to be the Solar Flare down onto OTFF as well, too. At least coming. That might be a little bit ahead, but we're okay here. Here we go. Keeper's Verdict is there. Now the Solar Flare is down. My apologies, everyone. And that's going to be a big Crystal Arrow through Showstopper from Muddy Man X, doing so much damage to Ruby Jester. Focusing on in. Look at the cage. How much damage is coming down from the Dragons. Muddy Man X is in deep. He eventually gets taken on out. But Ruby Jester down to just a bit of health. With the exception of Skarl holding on for now with the Flag and Drag, the knock-up as well too. D mounted off the Skarl again, they finish him off, a little bit more damage to do it. Boom! OTFF with the Primordial Burst. They take down the Tier 2 tower. They're charging down the mid lane right now because these death timers are huge. Big objectives, not currently on the map. Do they end right now, Volk?
I think they have it. They have the end in them. All they need is just to find KipCat. Oh no, KipCat is actually finding the wave. This could be like very scary. No wave. And I think this is the end. This is the game end just stalled here, and they're gonna have to like back off. Because the only way that they would have managed to end is just try to find a kill, like force something on the KipCat, just force his death at least. But that wasn't on the cards, and well, the cards now are gonna be the last stand of the Falcons. So we're gonna see the fight here. Zhonya's in an absolutely perfect position. Insta flash here, and the cage, and everything just thrown onto OTFF from both teams. Managed to stay alive. The cage was there. Hoodie Man is actually coming up with big dividends. You know, all the trust, all the resources teams allowed them to gain has allowed them to come back. Be very effective here on a team fight.
Oh, wait, another fight breaking out here. This was the soul for the Dragons if they could do it, but if they could just take out every single member of the Falcons, that'll just be game. Somehow Ruby Jester has ended up behind these members. We do see potential ping towards the top lane. Don't know if they're going to attempt for a backdoor exit here. Hoodie Man X is backing just in case that does come to fruition. But 4v2, Down the mid lane they go. This is the time. You got 30-second, 20-second death timers. Eyesight will be back up soon. But with that Sivir, you can end this game super quick, folks.
Yeah, mind you, these two champions aren't the ones for a good lane state. They're gonna have to stand here, and the stand isn't being off as the poppy is deemed unworthy. Clutch is deemed dead, and Carl has Master no more. And the next is gonna fall down, and it's gonna be the Red Flag, the Dragons that are gonna claim game 2.
GG. Wow, that was incredible back and forth. I thought we were gonna get the Falcons there, but Thunder, you got to witness that. How you feeling after that one, buddy?
I am feeling hyped and excited. I will say Falcons, while they lost, definitely felt like they were maybe punching up. Maybe those power rankings were a wee bit humble, but it ended up working out in the favor of the Dragons. Overall, I will say the Kled pick performed even better than I expected, but at the end of the day, First Blood was in the top lane, and it seemed like it snowballed the game, Gurf.
Yeah. I mean, it was looking really, really good there for Ruby Jester. I loved seeing the Kled just kind of go on a spree. It's not often you get to see that, and I know I had some of my concerns from past splits of Ruby Jester being like, not always the one we look to be wearing the carry pants, but solid, consistent. I think in that case, again, even though they did not win, Ruby Jester showed us tonight that they have the capabilities to do that. The strength is there. The skills have come to fruition, and we get to see this top laner really making some moves. So I'm excited to see what's going to come in the future here from Ruby Jester. But obviously, we had some really, really crazy back and forth here from the Dragons. Questionable on in terms of objectives there near the end. I was like, oh, this could be potentially a little rough. Drake and Baron. Oh my, crazy game though.
Yeah, it's an absolute banger. Like, no doubt, it was either like, can the Kled run you down before the Vigar can suffocate you? That was like the game. And well, the game eventually took long enough that the Vigar was very fun. Albeit, to be honest, the attempts of the Falcons were very valiant. If it wasn't for the Zonia flash, like the Lux, the Lulu ult, everything just coming in there. Like if OTFF died there, that would have been game over for Dragons. The fact that he survived, Hoodie Man managed to space the rest of the members, that was absolutely enormous here for the side of the Dragons, and they managed to capitalize. But I would still give Falcons like a lot of props in this game. They're proving to be a very dangerous team, and as the weeks go on, I'll be very excited to see what both teams are be able to provide to us.
Right, and I think that's definitely something that other teams will be able to come in and look at. Maybe, I was looking at Twitch chat a little bit. I saw some sentiment that maybe the Kled was just going to be bad. Teams might have to approach things a little bit differently. Gurf, you said it before. These top laners, probably these players as a whole, have taken these few weeks in the off season. They've trained. They've definitely leveled up a bit. And of course, our new players, our rookies, OTFF, one of them had an absolute pop off performance, 15-4-7 on this Veigar. I mean, Vol, what are the chances that this is gonna get banned in the next game that they play?
If you want to play that kind of comp again, you'll definitely ban it. Definitely. You're not gonna pick a Kled and run into a Vigar. You're not gonna pick a Leona and go into Vigar. You're just asking to be suffocated. You're just asking to like, hey Vigar, can you lock me up in a cage? Yeah.
Look, some people are into that, but
that's nice.
I mean,
we're
not judgmental here. Like we support everyone here. But well, Vigar isn't locking you up for support. He's locking you up for the farm order burst. So each their own.
Okay, you know what? I have to. We need to go on a brief break. I got to get my mind out of the gutter. But we have one more game left to play today. Again, these are all best of ones. This is not a best of three. Our last game of the day will be between the Unicorns versus the Rattlers. We will go on a very brief break before we come back, do a little bit of analysis, and hop into the draft. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just saw an amazing game number 2 between Falcons and Dragons. Great back and forth. And now, with both those teams being 1-1, we got another set of teams that are both 1-1. Unicorns taking on the Rattlers for our final game of this evening. We got a lot of big names here on this final game of the evening, as I just said. But I'm excited. We've gotten banger games. We've gotten banger moments, and it's been fun throughout. And just, again, every split I do this, it's like, oh, I love VAD so much. It's just action-packed the entire way through. Bolt, how are you feeling so far about these games we saw? How are you feeling about this game we're about to see?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna feel great because, you know, we have once again another role swap. Like we've seen Eyesight, like I would say he's been pretty successful on the Leona. Maybe like you can see that he hasn't been a support main for a while because like the timing for the roams, etc. Like how much you can push a roam and like how much you can go back. That much you can see that isn't there, but there is massive potential, and there is also gonna be massive potential on Vigar feed, a mid laner that is going jungle. We've seen Vigar last game, so I'm gonna be very intrigued at what we're gonna see, and what we are not gonna see will be the Fiddlesticks, the first of 10.
And yeah, not a terrible ban. Definitely in the right hands can be quite scary. I do believe that is one of Gent's picks that tends to come out. Oh yeah, Gent. Now it's ringing a bell. Fiddlesticks, Diana are the two big ones, and yeah, there goes Diana as well too. They can't ban Fiddlesticks a second time though. Folks.
3 jungle bans.
Wow,
3 jungle bans on the side of the unicorns. Like, a lot of respect given to Gent right here.
Yeah, absolutely, and rightfully so. Gent, one of those bigger jungler players. I got my eyes right now on the top lane as well. Feathers and Fur has been classically one of the most consistent top laners we have had in this league. An amazing captain as well too, and leads by example for what they expect of a team. So I'm again, Orin is not banned right now.
Yes,
but with
the
B1,
CEO,
we finally get it, Bolt. We finally get it.
Oh, cheers, guys! We're gonna listen to the beautiful songstress herself. The CEO of support, the best enchanter in the game, has been officially locked for week 1, day 1. Okay, now time to get back on the seats. Okay, let's see. Seraphine, massive upset to B1. You can flex mid, you can go AD. It's good into Senna if you want to go like marksman set. If you want to go marksman Seraphine, and can go support as well. So you have 3 good roles, one of the best ultimates in the game, but on the other end you have the massive poke, infinite scaling, which we were talking about in the Vigar game, and well, here comes the angry guy, the OG angry guy. Oh, it's not gonna be it.
We get more bullet time tonight. More time with the bullets. Good long range though. Senna can be definitely nasty if that is going to be the bot lane pair up right there. Definitely strong. I am excited with you, Volt, to see where that goes. Amiyanki has shown time and time again. I think when they were in previous rosters with the Dragons, she was really, really good busting out those enchanter support. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see her piloting that, knowing how good she is at those enchanters. Whoa, that's huge. I was expecting Ornn or maybe Urgot, because those are the two. That's the bread and butter here for Feathers and Fur.
Absolute confidence here.
But there's a third one. A little, I don't know what else you'd add to that. Maybe like a little slice of ham into your bread and butter sandwich. Yeah, Alawai, another big one for Feathers and Fur. Definitely knows how to pilot that. And it's not a chimp you see often, Volt, but when it comes out from a person who knows how to play Alawai, oh man, it does not feel good getting just whapped around by tentacles and a cow. We get the cow. Wait, means it's not surfing in the bot lane, or it might be surfing in the bot lane. Still, it could be.
It could be mid. It could still be mid, but we
could
don't
be
know.
Mid as well too. Yeah. Awesome.
I'll be very intrigued though, because like when I saw Senna MF, the first thing that I thought of is like maybe you can go Seraphine Soraka, or like Seraphine and then a second enchanter, and then they're like, haha, nice poke. Like, you know, like that is always an option.
Yeah.
But well, you're electing for Ilawi, so of course you're gonna need something that is gonna, one, make space for Ilaoi to split push or have an isolated 1v1, because that is where Ilaoi's strength comes in. Is either you split push, you assert dominance in a specific lane, or you got to stand your ground. And that comp is going to be a very good stand your ground into a Call of the Force God, because you can go ahead and do that. We're going to see Swain being banned off, Wukong being banned off on the other
More
side.
jungles.
Yeah,
More jungle
more
bans.
junglers. Yeah. Is
They have,
it going to be a fifth jungler for the ban?
I think so.
Is,
I think
is it going to be a first in VAD? 5 jungle bans.
5 jungle bans. I wouldn't be too surprised if Gent took it. Again, this is a lot of what Feathers and Fur is good at, is doing their homework of these captains that I've known for quite some time now. Feathers does their homework, research, regardless of which week it is. They are going to be coming in and knowing, hey, 48 hours before I play these teams, and they're just brand new.
No problem.
Yeah, no problem. Feathers absolutely on top of stuff like that. So, I don't know.
One last
Will it be
ban.
5?
Yeah,
Come on.
one last
Will it
ban
be
to rule
5?
them all. One last ban to rule them all. Is it gonna be it?
One last
Sure.
ban to bind them.
Yeah, let's see.
One last ban to find them all. And in the darkness. Wait, no, I already said bind them. Nope, I messed up the quote. My bad.
It's gonna be
another jungle.
five.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, okay, ladies and gentlemen, mark this in the VAD history. Gent has commanded 5 full bans. This one man is just looking to be the nightmare, the bane of the unicorns. And well, this is gonna be a very intriguing R4, because now you're almost out of junglers, and he's gonna
No, you're
pop
not.
out
No,
the
you're not.
Karthus. No, he will. He will. He will.
It could
I
be.
can see it.
It could be.
It will be.
I can absolutely see it. I'm like, with you, 96% chance. I'm like, yeah, Karthus jungle. I agree.
Yeah.
There's a slight itty bitty chance that says if there's a
Karthus
confirmation with Seraphine mid,
Yeah.
comfortable running the Karthus into the jungle. Or if it's an idea, or if it's a very heavy invade jungler that they're about to pick,
Mhm.
put Karthus in the mid lane, get a little spicy
Yeah.
with it, and then you've got an option. Well, I mean, I say you've got an option. There's a lot of junglers banned, so really, realistically, out of the
Ooh, Maokai. That is someone that tree is very old. Haven't seen that since like season 6.
What is happening?
This
Where
is
is
a
that
blast
Maokai
from
going?
the past.
Where
So-
is that Alawai going, Vault? Where are they going? What? This is awesome.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Please no. I'm very scared. This is a very scary draft of the unicorn. Like, you have no clue. Oh. It's gonna be Maokai jungle? That's
Season
something we have never seen.
It's like been
in
season
ages.
5. We
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen
like
it since
season
like
4,
World
season
season
5.
5 when it was old Maokai ult.
Yeah, when it
and
was a
running
tank
through the
meta.
jungle.
Like,
Oh my god.
like, yeah, like you would see Maokai, you would see Sejuani.
No
That was
way.
the last time we actually seen Maokai.
Unless we see
That
for the
is-
first time ever Alawai jungle, that is one I've never seen.
Yeah.
This is a wild comp from the unicorns, but my
Ooh, a
god,
wilder one, yeah.
they answer back. I do believe that means we might see the Karthus heading to the mid lane.
It will
And
be
the
mid.
last save was, how did Belveth make it all the way to the end and no one thought, hey, you remember that new
You
jungler
know, like,
that came
yeah,
out who's
you know,
just
we're
insane?
picking 3 tanks and we're picking 3 bruisers, tanks.
Woo!
And yeah, and the one jungler
Wow.
that can have like infinite scaling through damage and have a lot of attack speed and can actually burst through the tanks and 1v1 them easily, especially the Maokai. Yeah, they're gonna go through.
I'm so excited. So we're gonna keep you
Dude.
guys posted. We'll have the updated roster where everyone is going in just a few moments. But this, I think, Rattlers, a little easier to read. Most likely gonna be that Belveth in the jungle. Karthus, I don't know where I was going with that one. In the mid lane, but for the side of the unicorns, I think the APC Seraphine. So she is going in the bot lane.
Yeah.
We said it, then we went back on it. Well, I say we, mostly me. I went back on it, and you're like, no, she's going in the bot lane. I swear.
Yeah.
So totally right on that. But a question of Maokai jungle, Alawai jungle, Alistar jungle? No way.
Alistar jungle?
There's no way. There's
If they-
absolutely no way.
If they pulled it off, they'll be the biggest Mad Lads of the league. 100%.
You know what? Viger Feed was in that support position back in winter 2021 when they won the championship. So, hey, you never know. It's VAD. It's week number 1. It's endless possibilities, and I think we've got a lot of questions until we actually see where these lineups are actually going, where these champions are actually going. Then we can maybe start to predict a little bit more efficiently. So why don't we do that for the Rattlers? They got themselves a strong comp. Global,
Yeah, I mean,
2 of them, Volt.
Yep. Remember, like a snipe and Requiem with First Strike, which is the rune of choice for Karthus. That is a money printer right there, especially in the
It
mid
really
game.
is.
You're
It
like,
honestly
yeah,
is.
you know, a casual 180, 200 gold every minute or two. Oh, thank you. I'll take that. And you know, maybe you could even add a few
Let's go.
kills. Yeah.
Sometimes you get even more gold when you press that R button. It's the best.
It's like you're guaranteed money. It's free money.
It's free real estate, as some might say.
Yeah.
It is. I saw. You know what? I'm with you on that. I'm hoping we do see that first strike come through because, again, it is going to ramp up. Those first few Requiems may not be the biggest, but as this game gets going, as more gold goes in the pocket of, I'm thinking Recluse, who may be running.
Do you want to hear the Dankus timeline?
I do absolutely want to hear the Dankus timeline. Lay it on me.
Is Karthus top and Orange Jungle? You know,
Or mid.
you're Karthus.
Run-
You have very long range. You don't even care about like Ilaoi tether. You're like, yeah, what's Spirit? I'm like Karthus. I'm like 800 range away. And Ornn is very, or like Ornn mid rather, like the lane swap rather, not the.
Ornn mid is one of my favorite things I've ever seen on our stream here. It worked out so well. We are getting the lock-ins here. They are going to be showing up on the screen in just a bit, but it is, from what I can see, Alawi Ornn top, Belveth in the jungle, Maokai in the jungle for Veigar or Feed on the Unicorn. So that answers our question there. I'm curious what we're going to see in terms of runes, Volt, as well as, honestly, what the level situation is going to be, where those points are going to be allocated as they start to level up.
That is gonna be very interesting. Like from what I know of Ilaoi, you put an early couple of points in the tether, just because it increases the percentage of the damage you deal to the champion itself. So that much should be like a given here, especially Feathers and Fur. I'm pretty sure he's like very proficient with Ilaoi, and like he knows like which matchup is easier to like just take the tentacle slam and which matchup is easier to take the tether. Then you have Karthus. It's like just very typical. The Ornn one is the one that used to have debate, where you used to say it's either Q or W, but now the Q is just the much better max, with all the tuning that has been done over the years. The one that I'm very intrigued about is gonna be the Maokai though. Like
Absolutely.
where are your points gonna go? Are you gonna like just boost your clear speed with the Q or the E? Or do you just want the bind and you're gonna max W and you're like, yeah, I'm playing Maokai. It doesn't matter if I clear in 1 year or 2 years. You know, I'd rather have the best chance to kill, the best chance to get a CC lock. And here we have the updated rosters, left and right. Yes, I know I'm doing it the opposite way, but it's cooler like that. So yeah, so you can have that. And I'll be very intrigued about especially the bot lane dynamic in both sides, because that is the place where I would say this is the most out of field lane. Have we ever seen a Seraphine Alistar before?
Not in my my current log memory. Maybe I dumped that cash out there at some point, but
I can see the potential though. Like, I can see the Alistar passive playing a part into
I think
making
it's going to be
lane
really
work.
nice that you have 3 absolutely massive meatballs on the side of the unicorns, right? You got Alawi, you got Maokai, you got the Alistar. That's a lot of front line to at least allow the Seraphine and the Victor to be pumping out tons of damage. However, there is only one concern I have with the unicorns comp. I love the rest of it. I love the idea of it. I love how it is going to work with each other in terms of just having tons of CC and health to throw at the Rattlers. It's a lot of AP, and that is one concern that may be difficult when you have an Ornn on the other side who can essentially just build magic resist and not have to worry too much about the AD. Yes, Feathers and Fur, depending on what they build, what items they go for, could potentially be a threat there in terms of AD damage, but knowing Feathers, it is tending to be more tanky, more beefy to help his team on out like that. And having a Belveth on the other side, the ability to shred shall be there. You have the Senna Misfortune in the bot side as well too. That is also a ton of AD and AP. Don't you worry about it. iRecluse has got that. They've got their R button highlighted, raised up on their keyboard, ready to press because it's going to come. Again, I'm hoping for that first strike. But Volt, do you have any final points to make before we send it off to a break?
Well, before I send it off, the only thing you just have to say is like, how hard is it gonna be to find the Maokai R? Because I think the Maokai buffs are 12-17, not 12-16. With the speed of the ultimate and whatnot. So you gotta remember, like, ever since the rework of the ult, where it's not the circle that reduces damage, but instead it's like the swarm of branches that shoot you down. Yeah, RP old Maokai. Always will have a place in my heart. But like, yeah, the whole point is, it's much harder to actually get a catch with the ultimate if you aren't really positioned well.
Exactly.
So that will be like a very big question mark of like, can they actually layer their CC in a correct way? Like, that is the only question mark I have for the unicorns. Other than that, yeah, easier itemization for the Radaros, of course, but stacking magic damage isn't as bad as stacking AD. So that isn't like really as problematic as I would say it would be.
I'm looking forward to this one though, Volt. It's gonna be fun. The fact that the person who got 5 bans directed toward them is also piloting a Belveth is gonna be a treat to watch.
Will he do
ladies
the
and gentlemen.
306 moment?
It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. I'm so excited for this. Ladies and gents at home, predictions are currently underway, so make sure to get your votes in for who you think is gonna win our final game of the broadcast here tonight. Either the unicorns here on the blue side, or will it be the Rattlers over on the red side? We're gonna see what comes down the pipeline in just a few moments, but don't go anywhere because we're gonna be back on the Rift for the last game of the night. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Ladies and gents, welcome back to game number 3 here for week 1 of the Victoris draft. Victoris amateur draft, because we got two of them, because there's more tomorrow night too. Oh my goodness, so much League of Legends, so much esports, I love it. We got a little bit of action here as not Jackie Love taking a couple whacks there at the Alistar. Sorry, the Maokai. A lot of meatballs out here in this final game. We're going to do our best to differentiate, but I'm joined here once again by Volt. I am your Ethercaster, Gurf, and we are going to bring you, I think, another spicy game, because they've all been fantastic tonight, Volt.
They have been, and you know, the spice here, I gotta say, the one bit of spice I'm the most excited for. Can Gent pull either the 306 or the 311 clears? Because these are the spiciest parts of Belfast. Like, later on, you don't really care about the clear. But earlier on, I'm so happy that like we have these kind of clears where like 316, 306 and 311, these two clears. Either red or blue. So, since he's starting blue, I think it's gonna be the 311 clear. If he manages to do that, he's actually like trying to find a good gank angle in each and every lane. Like, Ilaoi, as strong as she is in standing her ground, she's very susceptible to gank, especially if like she can be pretty mobile. And, you know, speaking of mobility, well, we're seeing like here happy feet from the side of pillars on these cues from the partners.
Absolutely. It's gonna be fun watching how that SP Pillars deals with all that damage. Because it's a little ridiculous too, how much he can get out and how fast it can be done. Though I'm watching for this level 2 in the bot side right now because we are very, very close to getting it. Not Jackie Love is just getting right in the face of Verzia and Amiyanki right now, so making this a little tough. Do need to watch out if Salazar hits level 2. He's got that passive off as well for the next kill. Now we expect a bot lane fight, but it is going to be Rattlers who hit it first. My eyes, though, honestly, are on Gent right now. Not too surprised if they are just going to spend some time in the jungle farming on up, because that is what is going to benefit Bel'Veth in the end game here, to be as big as possible before the team fights start to break out.
Yup, and you know, Maokai, the roles of Maokai are starting to show. Like, you're still on the Raptors, meanwhile, Gent just doing the red, and here comes the fight here. We're talking about Ilawi, and look at how dangerous it is to send your ground into that Ilawi.
Yeah, Gali unfortunately gets the soul taken from him. Feathers showing us why he has near to 500,000 mastery on this champion. I said they were going to be in the jungle for a while. I take it back. I lied to everybody here on stream because Gent is already up in this top side right now. Gets a knock up as well too. Looking for some more. Look at Gali trying for that knock up. Not going to be able to do that quite yet. Feathers burning the flash to get away. You see health bar a little bit low on Recluse is back down in the bot lane. Still just shoved here. Nice little comfortable place if you are Verzia right now. You can sit back, farm up, but not Jackie Love is making it quite difficult with all the pokes they're pumping out.
Elvin Gent once again very active as Pillars here is just gonna like to use the cage to find something. Gent still have all 3 of his dashes. The knockup is there, and the wrap up is gonna be there. Ticked down by the death blast from Recluse, and that's gonna be a Karthus with the first blood. That's absolutely massive for the cage champion. Speaking of activity, we're gonna see the Maokai
coming in. Vigar flies in with the Maokai. Beautiful follow-up from Amiyanki, and also claiming the kill on that Alistar. So at least both teams now evening out the kills. It's still very, very early. Only 5 minutes, or under 5 minutes into this game. But Dragon is up in 30 seconds. We'll maybe see some rotations over there. Let's take a peek at what just happened.
Yeah, and you can see, like, once again, just very active. The delay wastes are pretty accurate here from Recluse, and the cage wasn't there in time. We're gonna see the W there from again. And well, we'll bet, you know, the Velvet thing. But it's kind of surprising, actually, though. Did he not have any points in the Maelstrom? Velvet, because I didn't see it used. And we're gonna see the replay of the other gank, and well, once you're caught in the chain, I'll give that much support. Once you're caught in the chain, you're gonna be played around like a basketball.
Oh yeah, just getting tossed around there. That was kind of the way that the Maokai ganks are gonna go. It literally is point and click CC once you're on top too. All you need to do is be there with your team, follow on up, and it should be some early gold. Hopefully this one they can get on the next one they can get on. But yeah, but for now, both junglers back on their respective Raptors, just farming it out as bot lane looking to go in. Amiyanki with a beautiful headbutt pulverized here, getting the exhaust ticking on down. Jackie Love gets popped by Verzia. Finally some gold onto the Seraphine. Lovely little kill for the bot lane Unicorns.
Yeah, I know, a little bit of a flash stick here from Verzia. That is absolutely beautiful. You can see the preempted what's it called? Sound blast? Sound wave? High note. Called the high note. Preemptive high note here from Verzia. It's gonna be able to predict the flash, and that is gonna be one that's done. And well, the Seraphine is just having a blast here in the lane, especially with the Alistar passive. Like the health bars are absolutely up all the time, and Panda.
Look where Vigar's right now. It could potentially be gank on either side of the map. I was waiting to see if Gent was going to go up, but nope. Opts to actually go into the jungle there of the Unicorns as Gali is still stuck underneath the turret. And then same thing for Vigar right now is invading the blue side of the Rattlers. Could still look to potentially set something up. Does not have that level 6, so we're not going to see Maokai ult coming through quite yet in this game, but Nature's Grasp is definitely going to be one of those big ones once it's available. Needs to actually go and farm up, but I think Unicorns have a different plan. Flash going over the wall, locking him down. That's going to be another kill. Can they finish him off? The sapling is blocked by the Blues. That has got to be one of the best TPs. Saves their ADC. Will technically support here. So close to finding a second kill there.
Okay, can we just have a moment to just like have some Oh!
Galley taken out. Feathers got the soul down. Popped the ult as well. And that last tentacle whoosh, took Galley out.
Oh my. I was just gonna say, like, we should have an ode for Jackie Love, but maybe the ode should be forgotten. It's weird saying, you see, like, he's already 0-2 here, Jackie Love. But the headbutt pulverize is gonna come in. You can see the flash is gonna come in as well. Twisted Nether is there, just being shoved aside, and like, oh, it's happening. You see, oh, I'm coming. And
Oh
no,
my gosh.
like, absolutely saved here by Ricoles. And well, that is gonna be it there. But you know, at one point we were 3-1, and all 3 of these kills were on the Senna, and that was just the Ilaoi ultimate. Tentacles are kind of fast when you're in the ult. It's like it's like you have no chance of counter play. It's just like, you know, it appears to be that way. You definitely have to.
This is Feathers now with the kill on his Ilaoi. Definitely going to be a nice start for them. Gent does see a window of opportunity here to go ahead and try for this early Ocean Drake, which should be fine. You have Viger on the other side of the map. And I think that it was maybe sniffed out there because you saw both Verzia and Amianki saying, wait a minute, our jungler's up top and we're pushed up halfway through the lane. We should probably back on off. So honestly, good heads up on the mini map right now to keep an eye out for that potential gank option post-Dragon is to keep themselves safe for now. Gent is currently taking the red buff away from Viger, so by the time they get down there, going to be a nasty little surprise to say, hey, where's my red buff? How could you do this? How can you let them sneak in here and take it away? I'm more interested, Volt, is if we do see these two junglers collide 1v1, what the rotation is going to be like from the teams and what the damage output is going to be from either one of them.
Well, I don't think the Vigar Fleet is gonna survive that long if it's caught up in isolation on again, especially with the Evolved Banquet here from the side of the set. So like that's gonna be very intriguing. That we're gonna see once again Jackie Love. He's gonna be able to use the cover of the shadows here. Get out. The Black Mist is gonna be enough to cover him up. Get out. But oh, speaking of itemization, just realized a straight up Hull Breaker rush from Feather.
That is definitely bold. Let's see. Knockout comes through, but again, just trying. Oh, I don't think it went through. Oh, it was so close. It didn't go through. Feathers doesn't get it that time. But again, you see where that leading state has been this entire game so far. It has been right underneath of Galley's tower. And now again in the bot side, this time Vigar has the Nature's Grasp. They have the ultimate ready to go.
Flash is expended a little bit early. Is he gonna be able to...
Oh, Amianki with a beautiful combo, followed up by the Seraphine ultimate, locking them down with Maokai's. They've got nowhere to go. Red Panda trying to escape right now. Not Jackie Love will go next. It's 2 kills for Unicorns. Red side might have been strong so far in these first 2 games, but blue side looking really good in the first 10 minutes of this game. Oh, wow.
Poor Jackie Love is all I can say in this game. It's like the typical Senna game where you think, oh, you know, I'm picking Senna, I'm good, nothing is gonna hurt me. I have long range, it's not like I can be engaged on, and then Amianki just gonna like, whoop, I'm gonna flash in, I'm gonna run onto you. And well, yeah, you can see like, you know, like yeah, absolute aggression here, and you can see like it's calculated. He knows his limits, and that is very good on the outer spot. And the follow-up is beautiful. The encore is there. The ultimate from the Maokai is there as well. And nature will grouse you, Senna. And then
I was coming into this game, you know, it's like I'm used to seeing Amianki's enchanters like she's really good at running those, but with Melee. So I was like, okay, haven't seen it. Let's see how they pilot them. She's been incredible on the Alistar tonight. She's doing so well with it. Just the engages, the follow-ups, being there for the team, and just being the absolute meatball that the team needs right now to make sure that they soak up all that extra damage. But at this point, there's not going to be a lot of damage coming out of this bot lane in the state it's currently in right now. Amiyanki roaming at this point, looking to help out their team across the board, and this is what we love to see from our Alistars. Mobile, active, and cognizant of what is going on around this map.
Yeah.
And this
Double
comes from
mobile
good
boost.
communication.
You know, if we're gonna pick up a better double moment, oh, the ultimate is gonna be there from Feathers and Spur and Galyanski. Oh no!
Feathers!
The tentacle!
Again finds a kill with the tentacles from far away and gets full access to the last of these turret plates up in the top lane. Actually might be able to take out this turret before they even fall, which is a surge of gold into the pocket of the Unicorn's top lane. I said earlier tonight how cracked Feathers was at farming. Currently, you can look almost 10 CS a minute on the Alawai, and the gold to 2k up, 2.1k up to be specific. That is going to be a massive Alawai. Question is, how are they going to deal with it? What damage is going to come out? And can we even look at this Alawai the wrong way without being booped on the head and sent back to the fountain? It is definitely becoming a problem in this early game. Amiyanki again running interference here in the try push. We do have that follow-up with the Seraphine Encore. Not Jackie Love again, getting just pounded by the damage coming out here. Dent looking to respond though, as it is going to be the bolt time, but Amiyanki just laughing in the face of the misfortune ult. Says, you're not doing any damage to me. I am Meatball Supreme over here.
Yeah, I know, one day, you know. Y'all get back in my day, we used to do the Herald. Actually, there was no Herald back in.
There was not. Back to the Maokai. We
Speaking
remember?
of Maokai, wait. It's Moby Boots, double Ruby. There isn't even a zombie Cinder here to clear the jungle.
Oh my god.
Man, like dedicated to the cause here on Bygor Fleet.
And still able to take the Rift Herald too. So I would think that thing is either heading to the bot lane real soon, or it is going to be dropped in the mid lane. You see the numbers have lined up here, and Feathers is drawing already a lot of attention towards the top half. Gent is making their way up there, mostly for these Krugs. We'll see if they can secure him, but Feathers has 3 levels on the Rattler's jungle. It is not going to make this this time too nice if they happen to catch him in the bush.
Yeah, like Feathers is absolutely dominant here. A level ahead of everybody else, 2 levels ahead of both junglers and Galyanski, so let's see, are they even gonna give him the proper respect, or are they gonna attempt to challenge? I think they're gonna be absolutely respectful. Hullbreaker is very dangerous in situations like these, so I think respect will be granted. Nice, that's right here. Yeah, you know,
we could help them and say, hey, you probably show some respect to it, but I think they know that well enough after how this early game is going. Now at this point, we are moving into the mid game. 15 minutes here as a few items have come through. A couple mystics we can already see here as SP Pillars with that Ludens once again on the Victors. The big one is Brazia with the completed Leandries. Has been massive so far on that Seraphine. We do see the Herald coming down into the mid lane. So again, just progressing the gold lead, snowballing the lead, keeping the tempo rolling is what the Unicorns want to do. They've got themselves a lead, 7-1, up 5k gold at this point. No major objectives on the board right now, but the pressure still remains across the board.
No, gold lead, if we're gonna talk about that, I think it's like 3k gold just in Feathers and Spur. What an absolute well patch. And speaking of like gold leads as well, look at comparisons between Jackalov and Bercia. You're talking 2k? Yeah, 2k gold there.
Oh.
And
So the
like
5k gold difference between the team is
Literally
on those 2 players right there.
these 2 players.
Wow. That is impressive. Absolutely impressive. So, Feathers having a great game. Brazia having a great game. Everybody on Unicorns right now is honestly having a good game. And Amiyanki, my eyes are still on as well too. She has been setting these teammates up for those kills. Brazia again, getting some pokes from Jackie Love, but I think again he needs to be a little careful, a little cognizant of who's lurking around the corner. You cannot be pushed that far up. Yes, you have the safety of Gent here, but they are actually going to stop their back. Make their way back in the jungle, but there's no camp sub bolts.
Yeah, there's nothing here for Gent to gain. Not even on the opposite side. Meanwhile, Feathers and Spurs just like, yeah, you know, my enjoyment in League of Legends is just incurring pain of all Lord players. Call it the Forge Gods just to wait for me.
It's there. You know what I haven't seen yet? Any big Requiems. I want to see some big Requiems. But we're seeing even bigger plays from the Unicorns. They're popping off again in the bot side. Bullet time comes through. Cannot make anything happen here, as I do believe it's another kill picked up for Brazia. Third one so far on that Seraphine, maybe looking to make it a fourth. You got the Sapling chasing after him. Viger is going to go for it. Flash force, try and get out of that turret. Shot range! Still gets taken down. Now you got a Requiem. Shutdown does still go over to Red Panda, and we had Amiyanki getting quite low, but no first death for them quite yet. Incredible stuff in that bot side lane. That's Feathers at the top. Needs to watch out for Gent. They want to go, but look at the level difference between these guys. A flash is used too. What is happening?
You know, absolutely respectful. Look at that, the ult to clear in. And here we're gonna see the Just the Death push once again paying dividends. Maokai, you don't expect the flash CC, and the Encore just misses there. But it wasn't even enough. You still had enough CC just with everything you had to absolutely pile on the also miserable Jackie.
It's just insane how much damage that Brazia is doing at this point. It is really, really significant. But gotta remember, Seraphine is still Seraphine, one of the squish champions in this game. You take a turret shot, it is gonna hurt. So unfortunately, the shutdown does go over to Red Panda, looking to hopefully do some more damage with those bullet times, because in the right cases, yeah, they can be game changing. They can make the difference. But currently, it's just not having the impact it currently needs. And with the Dragon up in 2 seconds, yes, bullet time might be ready for this next fight, but is it going to be the game changer? I honestly don't think so, Volt. You still need more damage. You still need more items. And when SP Pillars takes half of your health with the laser and an Encore
What
kills
an encore.
3 members of your team, there ain't nothing that's going to be done about that. Brazia with their 5th kill of the night. It's 11-2 for the Unicorns. They're going to go ahead and pick themselves up their first Dragon, but just showing their dominance across the board time and time again.
What an encore. What a beautiful encore. That was such a beautiful ultimate here from Brazia. Absolutely honestly. That's absolutely beautiful. As you're going to see here in the replay. You can see the red side here just rather than trying to find anything. But well, once again, you know, it's just Jackie Love again. And look at that, just the laser is good enough for the surge of the HP bar of Jackie Love.
Oh my
Encore
God.
was absolutely beautiful. Nature's Grasp is there. Headbutt pulverized. Nowhere to go. And if that's gonna be the situation, Unicorns are set to be in a really good position in this.
You know what we both have been really quiet about has been the Karthus game. I saw, you know, a couple pokes of those Q. They are getting significant. I'm going to see. Oh,
Okay, look at that.
You know what?
That's 60 a hit.
They can hurt, they can hit, but I want to see more. It's got to be more, and this is what I was waiting for. Just keep on popping the Requiem. They will eventually hurt. Bullet time coming through on SP Pillars. Gents maybe looking to dash forward into more. Takes a turret shot, needs to back off because Vigar feed could have easily stunned them, rooted them underneath that mid-tier 1. However, on the other side of the map, there is always something being done by this top laner. I was talking to you about him earlier tonight, Volt, but consistent, always getting stuff done for his team, and we see Feathers on the bot side of the map taking even more turrets. Got the tier 1 and 2 in the top side, and just took tier 1. So that is 3 turrets that Feathers has just often taken by himself.
Yeah, you gotta give it to Feathers and Furries. Absolutely running amok as we're gonna see here. Once again, you know, that's their cold.
no.
Almost on the verge of dying. One more tick, the tentacle is spawning.
You gotta
Is it gonna
dodge
hit
it.
him? No.
Oh
it's gonna
my gosh.
dodge. Okay, God bless. That was super close here.
Getting nervous.
Feathers and Furries just absolutely getting the one shot. And speaking
More
of
fights,
which,
that's the Nature's Grasp. Can Red Panda get out? Absolutely not. Encore will land as well into the Chaos Storm. Brazia picks up kill number 6. Beautiful follow-up. from their team.
God bless the queen. God bless the queen.
God. Oh, tier 1. Mid will also go down. Feathers with them as well too. Will demolish that turret with the turret demolisher. I do believe they are running that this game, and it's just making pushing these towers solo incredibly easy. It makes it pushing with the team like breathing for them. You see Recluse stepping on up, almost losing their life here, Bolts.
Yeah, I can see just how dangerous that is. And that is just on 2 items and just the full. He didn't even do any direct damage to the gold.
Oh,
What is it?
nope.
You can see, oh, and then you can see here on the mid side, on the opposite, see just good old Maokai. You know, I'm gonna walk up to you. You're gonna be dead. Doesn't matter. Well, the laser's there, the encore is there, the Chaos Storm, the follow-up, the CC is layer on layer, and there is nowhere to go once you are on this unit.
Layer of lasers, maybe one might say too. Let's just follow up CC, right? It's just so well paired together. And again, this is something we've seen tonight, Volt, which is just synergistic picks with each other. What can follow up? CC is absolutely god tier out here, and if you can get as much of it out as possible, this is where we've seen where the strength lies in many of these teams who have been winning so far tonight. So it's working out really well for the Unicorns. They put themselves together, a really great team, but it's the execution that is coming together really, really well. We thought, you know, Rattlers were going to have some poke, they were going to have the damage, they were going to be popping off, but it's just been heads up plays from Unicorns. They have been working so well together. They got themselves set up, and now at this point, the damage coming out from these individual carries has been significantly scarier than what the Rattlers are able to do. So Volt, my question for you, what are the Rattlers gonna do? We're 23 minutes in this game. Do they find a winner back in here? What does it look like?
Well, what does it look like is an actual 5v5 team fight, but I wonder if it's a bit too late, because it's almost 7k gold behind for them. I still think that, like, you know, looking at the gold, you can see a big gold and CS difference between Gent and VLP. Like, that is gonna be absolutely massive. That is an intangible value as well. Look at Feathers and Fur. Just, you know, casually half healthing your goals.
Why is that so much damage, Volt?
I don't know. It's just like Feather is like, well, time to make you miserable too.
Don't think Jackie Loves one. It's that smoke. That is 6 levels. Lawai. That is a bit of so. Yeah, definitely do not want to mess with that. Recluse still trying to hold down that bot tier 2.
Though.
But Verzia is potentially going to get caught out. That's going to be the call for God Flash immediately. They only catch one. Encore lands on to, I believe, 1 or 2 there. Both time ripping on through. It is starting to do some damage. Jackie Love taking out SP Pillars. It's only Verzia left. Rattlers find themselves a couple important kills, but now Vigar Feed is in. Gets the fight down. Gets rooted up. Recluse still with some poke. Blast Cone to separate those two. They will take what they can take. That's still huge for the Rattlers at this point in the game.
Yeah, absolutely enormous. You see, we were talking about the good old like 5v5 fight. And once you're there, once you are in that position where you're actually gonna have a coordinated fight and not get piled on by CC, that is where you will find success on the side of the Rattlers. We can see like Verzia just a little bit overeager, the flash is there. The Encore will get the Orn, but it will not be the best if it doesn't pile up onto way too many members. The Wombo combo is there, as we were talking about the potential of these Wombo combos, no matter how behind you are. All it takes is one good team fight, but a good bullet time with a Sentinel and a Call of the Force God, and that is like a team fight as good as one, because damage sources outside of Feathers and Fur are very squishy. Like, very squishy. He doesn't have the option of movement with surround sound. Speaking of that movement, Jackie Love is just caught up in the river, and they're like, you know what, we'll let you go. You've had enough for the day.
Yeah, Jackie Love boot scooting out there saying, yeah, no thanks, I'm good. I'm just gonna get out of here. Looks to be another Mountain Drake here though for the Unicorns, which will not be contested. More tankiness for the team who's got some incredibly strong meatballs, and this is gonna make this task even more difficult. The towers is another big one too, Volt. You can see the objective game is currently just being dominated by the Unicorns. They have taken all the tier 1, and I believe all the tier 2, yes, all the tier 2 turrets as well. So at this point, they can comfortably set themselves up, as long as they go in numbers, comfortably set up in the jungle, get that vision down, and as soon as they have a window here, say, hey, we go for Baron, we end this game out, and we call her a day. Feeling more than happy with their performance, especially in game number 3 here tonight.
Yep, and you know, game number 3, we're seeing item 3.5. As we're seeing an actual Flame Horizon. It's been a while since I've seen somebody almost 100 CS up on the opposite laner. And we're seeing that on two sides. We're seeing Gent almost being 100 up on Vigar or Fade. And we're seeing Feathers and Fur almost being 100 up on Galatasaray. So like, these people are absolutely stomping their lanes. But one of them is more unorthodox than the other. As like Maokai is known as like, I don't clear that much. I don't bother myself with jungle, to be honest, compared to the build that wants to scale as much as she can. Speaking of scaling, maybe I'm in Arky just trying to scale up too much into the other side. Didn't end up get caught, no harm, no foul. All is gonna be good here. But yeah, everybody's angling up for the Baron. Jackie Love could be caught up once again. With action for safety here, as they're pulling the 1-3-1. And Ami and Arky is just electing to play safe. Get something. Gent could be caught up. That could be the first enemy. And the Encore is gonna
double
catch two.
Encore will land. Amiyanki doesn't quite get the combo off. Still gets stunned down onto one. Rooted by the Seraphine follow-up. Get on out. They're taking a lot of folks from Red Panda. That bullet time is available, but look how much damage that Frisia does to Red Panda. The bot side, though, we still have a current push going on. We might have another pinch in the Baron. We're going to probably pop back and forth, and it's going to get crazy here. SP Pillars picking off one rate away as Jackie Love is on the run. Red Panda is gone right now, so no bullet time available. If the fight does break out, but Jackie Love caught on out, CC'd up. See ya later. Who's going to claim it? SP Pillar walks in and says, hey, thank you very much. I will take that. Wayne, while in the bot side, Feathers and Fur continues to push, finds himself a 4th and or 5th tower at this point because they've been pushing the entire time. Inhibitors should be going down next. Call the Forge God will be used. Gets the knock up and Gent from back town. Yeah, there's the Belfast doing lots of damage extremely fast. The call though from the Unicorns is going to be a hop on this Baron immediately. See if they can claim this one. Maybe end, but at this point, without Feathers, they're going to have to wait that 40 seconds to look for a big push.
Yeah, you know, you get Feathers, you get the big touchdown, but at what cost? You lost the pick. Jackie Love, once again, does, you know, the Wolves of the Senna taking home. If you overstep just a single inch, you're dead. Especially against that team comp opening point. And the call from the Rattlers was good. You either try to find Baron, and that fight is not guaranteed, not one bit. This is again, that man is buffed up on the belt. That is one scary though, but
Chris said he might go into the jungle, go farm a bunch, and then come out a monster. Well, there's an ornament also added to Gent as well. So this could be quite significant coming out. You see one of the highest gold earners in this game, either 2nd or 3rd at this point. It's really closely tied with Verzia. If they were in chart right now, they'd be bouncing around, but the flash forward Encore! Oh, Red Panda flashes away as well. That is 2 significant members here without their flash. I think, honestly, if I'm Rattlers right now, I'm calling the fact, hey, Verzia does not have flash. Let's make a play. Let's try and pick off the Seraphine because it's been a thorn in their side this entire game.
has been indeed, but is it gonna be a question of can we even reach without dying first in all the front line? So far though, Feathers and Fur is still very much stacked in the mid area, in the top area rather. Trying to establish a 1-4-0 here with the Shadow one being the super minions on the bot side, and that has been very successful so far. We're seeing pressure come in all three sides. 2 men had to respond from the side of the Rattlers. Feathers and Fur, level 18. 2 levels ahead of everyone else. And Nature Grass is gonna select somebody. MF is gonna be caught. Feathers and Fur is just doing a good bit of damage to the MF. That is gonna have the force streak on her for Panda. Oh my god, no, it will be death.
Wow, that was a Nature's Grasp that enabled Feathers and Fur to find the E and the ultimate sports, but another massive fight. This could be the one to end it all as the encore lands onto every single member. Look at Denzo. That's to the exhaust and zapped away SB Pillars with a beautiful W. Jet was looking to go absolutely ham there. You could see the damage starting to come out, but at this point, it's too late in this game. Just under 32 minutes as Feathers and Fur along with a couple teammates here, SP Pillar and Amiyanki pushing on the Nexus. They're pushing to end, and they will find this win here. What absolute insanity. An amazing place from the Unicorns here tonight. GG.
The mythical Unicorns being the saving grace for the blue side. I'll be very excited to hear what Thunder has to say about this. It has been an absolute showing with a lot of unorthodox picks.
This was a blast of a first day for sure, but Feathers and Fur, they gave the Rattlers a test of faith, and the Rattlers did not pass. That Illaoi was an absolute behemoth. Even though, you know, they finally killed the raid boss, the rest of the team was there to pick it up. And Volt, we got the Seraphine pick. It worked out. She's still the CEO of North America. How did you feel about it?
God bless the queen. God bless the queen. Bless the queen. No, but in all seriousness, though, you gotta give it to, like, Seraphine. Like, both Seraphine and Visacia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Visacia. It's been such a strong showing. I really like the Alistar. I really like what it provided. I didn't think it would be as impactful as it actually was. And
Right.
just the decisions and the itemization that we've seen 2 Moby Boots. Maokai was just like, yeah, you know, again, you can have those jungles. I don't even care at this point. You can have the jungles. I'm just gonna enable Versailles. I'm gonna enable safe rotations throughout the map. We're gonna make enough pressure that Feather and Fur have the space to play his own game. And that paid dividends. Feathers and Fur is just like, yeah, I'll take over top lane. I'll take over bot lane. I'll enable you guys to get Baron. I'm gonna kill them after I wrap up the game. You know,
Right.
while he wasn't even at a single team fight, his presence was maniacal enough to the point that it was the tilting favor for the side of his team of the Unicorns.
Yeah, I think, you know, I was watching, I was keeping my eyes on it. The whole breaker for that Illaoi was finished sometime between 8 minutes and 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That was the fastest whole breaker rush I have ever seen in my life, and it paid off in spades. And Gurf, this draft for Unicorns was full of just wild picks, and I thought it was going to be okay. So this is like 3 supports and then a Victor, and then Illaoi was going to be doing her own thing. Illaoi was doing her own thing, but Seraphine was not a support, and it worked so well. And I will say, this didn't feel like a team that's only been practicing for 48 hours.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, right? A team that was put together Saturday night has apparently found some synergy that is maybe a couple weeks ahead of these other teams we've seen tonight.
Right.
We mentioned the fact of picking comfort tonight, and we have seen it tonight. We've seen it work tonight. We also mentioned the other side of the card here, the dark side of the moon, if you might call it that, of picking just the wild stuff and just sending it.
Right.
And this is what we get to see here in game number 3, where maybe individually comfortable on their champions, then we see it in draft. It's like, this is new, this is unique. But when it works like this, it is just the best feeling ever as casters, as analysts, and especially if you are the members of this team, if you're the players here as well too, say, we just did that with all of these pieces here. Let's go. You got to be feeling good. At the end of the day, you're building team synergy. You're feeling great together as a cohesive unit, and you're getting ready to go for week 2 saying, hey, let's bring out some crazy stuff again.
Yeah, and of course, Unicorns, that puts them at 2-1 on the day. Again, they will be playing for 4 more weeks, 3 games a day. But overall, that feels good. I will say, if you're any team that's 2-1, 1-2, you're probably feeling pretty all right. So Rattlers, you're 1-2. You still got a dub today, so it's not the end of the world. But overall, boys, what did we think of the games today? Did they live up to the expectations? Did they live up to the hype of day 1 of our amateur draft league?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can see Gareth, the man is just like, yeah, he's had his daily dosage of league today. To be honest, I've had mine today. We've had fun picks, we've had comfort, we've had death balls, beautiful wombo combos, Queen Seraphine, beautiful CC layering, macro even in game 3. I wouldn't have expected seeing clean macro. So you gotta give it to Feathers and Fur, because I think a lot of that came from him. Just the fact that he was able to alleviate that much pressure, have calm shot calling on top of that. That was absolutely impressive from the side of the Unicorns. Also, the first 2 games, we've had like absolute banger in game 2, the back and forth. It was just a banger, and the Dragons clawed their second game after what we call an upset in game 1 that wasn't on stream. And then game 1 was just, it was a more of a dominant showing for the Lions, if I may say so myself. So yeah, the itch has been satisfied today. What about you, Gareth?
I love this league so much, guys. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is so much fun, so hype, and yeah, just action-packed all the way through. This is where you get to see the crazy stuff. This is where people aren't afraid to just say, "Hey, screw it. We're gonna play some of this wild stuff. If it works, it works. Sweet. We get the most amazing clippable moments here. Add it to your reels for sure. And if it doesn't, oh well. Did you have fun at the end of the day? Absolutely. But it's wild just seeing in week 1. Going back to that point I was making about how there was, I would think, more balance throughout the league itself, the groups, the teams. I think we saw great moments from every single team we had on stream tonight. I think everybody had a good moment out there tonight. So at the end of the day, incredibly entertaining as a caster to be back here again for VAD, but awesome seeing these players that have been around for multiple splits at this point, showing their growth, showing their improvement, and then the rookies who have come in already too and just been popping off.
Yeah, that's always one of the really exciting things about these types of leagues. There is so much that you can come into approach. You can see there's a ton of experience for these players to get. And of course, for us, we have an absolute blast. Volt and Gurf, thank you both so much for having phenomenal casts today. To our audience, thank you so much for coming out and seeing. There's plenty of more Victoris content throughout the week, pretty much 8 p.m. EST almost every day. You can come and check stuff out. Valorant League, we got it all here. But Gurf, Volt, any last words today before we sign off for the night?
Volt, you go first.
Okay. Well, since I'm the new guy here, my only words I'll say is, it's been such a blast to be on Victoris. And to be honest, if this is the standard of games that we're to expect from League, I'm even more excited about like everything that we're gonna have maybe in the other draft league, in Valorant. There is a lot of stuff that is pretty much down the road and underway, and we're just getting started. This is just week 1. This is the start of groups.
It's true.
So I'm very excited for playoffs if it's gonna be in that like form from the teams.
Week 1, 6 more to go. It's so hype. It's so hype. And yeah, the stories will unfold. This is the best part about it, is seeing the stories, the banter, the drama. VAD is where it's at. We literally have the best banter and drama that comes out. But of course, it's the hype moments. It's getting to know some of these players over the splits, over the years. Has been just an absolute pleasure. So to be back here again, it's going to be a banger time. We're going to get more and more every single Monday night. But speaking of more, there's more every single night of this week, because the VRD, our upper tier draft league, starts tomorrow as well too. I don't believe our host Quicksand is going to be there, but we got Shibby and we've got Salt Spreader on there as well. So it's going to be some banger games as well. I'm so looking forward to it. And then, of course, so many esports in the week. It just makes my heart so full. Love to be here. It was great casting with you, Volt. It was great being back on the desk with you again, Thunder. This is awesome, buddy.
The wonderful reunion indeed. Well, today was absolutely awesome. We had cages and tentacles and primordial bursts across the board. It was an absolute blast. Again, thank you, Gurf. Thank you, Volt. Thank you, Dan, our wonderful producer from this evening, to make all of this happen. And thank you to our audience and new follows and subs out there. Hey, if you have your Twitch Prime, use it. But that being said, we are done for the night. Come check back in tomorrow. Until then, be safe, be smart, make wise decisions, and farewell.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye. Waiting, the double trouble duo here, Deadly Flourish will do nothing because G-Ski picking up their second kill. They took over the blue side, they're taking over the red. All Tree can do is sit there and watch, and they know the Wukong's in the bush. They can see it with the Tremor Sense, trying to get the red buff, but is it going to be worth it? Jeez, just barely snakes it away. That's going to be the Crystal Sad Mummy. The Equalizer coming down, Starling roaming from the mid lane. Void Rush to finish up the Wukong, and that arrow going
gonna be enough?
through, but it's not doing any damage to him, Bolt. The smite used as well. They're trying their best. Ornn is getting low. Will it pay off? The Conqueror stacks come through for Wukong. The Tree does not have the damage. They do in the mid lane as they get another kill on the Cheeto. Starling. Or not. We see the double bandage toss coming on out. Disky's here, the flash on in, and it's first blood for the Lions cap. Completely too snowball. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, I take it back. Sheep and Cheesky waiting. The double trouble duo here. Deadly Flourish will do nothing because Cheesky picking up their second kill. They took over the blue side. They're taking over the red. All Tree can do is sit there and watch, and they know the Wukong's in the bush. They can see it with the Tremor Sense, trying to get the red buff, but is it going to be worth it? Jeez, just barely snakes it away. That's going to be the Crystal Sad Mummy. The Equalizer coming down, Starling roaming from the mid lane. Void Rush to finish up the Wukong, and that arrow going
gonna be enough?
through, but it's not doing any damage to him, Bolt. The smite used as well. They're trying their best. Ornn is getting low. Will it pay off? The Conqueror stacks come through for Wukong. The tree does not have the damage. They do in the mid lane as they get another kill on the Cheeto. Starling